Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome once again to Randall R. Sadler Stadium on the campus of Earlham College as we bring you Quakers baseball on a Wednesday afternoon. Midweek contest today against the Tigers of Wittenberg, who've lost their last two. They come in at 2-6 on the season. For the Quakers, they've won 3 straight after taking all 3 games from Wilmington just a couple of days ago. They're now 4-4 on the season. Kyle Gorman, the freshman, gets the start today for the Quakers. He'll be up against Jonathan Forster for the Tigers. We'll talk about this Tigers baseball team coming up in just a few moments. Well, the Quakers hoping to start rolling right now after the 3-game sweep against Wilmington. They will not only play today, but then travel for their first 3 conference games on the road at Earlham, the defending champions of the HCAC Big Series coming up this weekend. Of course, talk more about that as we go throughout the broadcast as well. But first thing is first, take care of Wittenberg today. Again, Gorman gets the start. We'll talk about his numbers coming up in a few moments as well. Big contest for him. And when we come back, we're going to hear from head coach Steve Sackis. It's here on the Farm Beer Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. Got to get his thoughts where his team is right now after that 3-game sweep over Wilmington, what to expect today, and don't look too far ahead to this weekend against Earlham. And that's all coming up in just a few moments. Stay right there. This is the Farm Beer Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show right here in Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time, which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Hi, this is Steve Funkhauser, and I was talking to someone the other day about how friendly and professional the crew at Jiffy Lube is, and they said, "You are always so upbeat. I'm going to call you Mr. Positive." And so now I am Mr. Positive. And I want you to know how proud I am of you and that you are doing a great job today. And hey, do something nice for somebody. Make somebody smile. Smiles are contagious, you know. I want you to have a great day and the horse you rode in on. Jiffy Lube. Fast, friendly, professional. I'm Mr. Positive, and I approve this message.
Before we even talk a little bit about today's matchup, we talked a little bit earlier this week how well your team is hitting. So, knowing me, I go back and look at some of the numbers. In that Wilmington series, did you get a chance to look at how crazy your hitting was, especially talk about maybe your first 6 or 7 top hitters? It's astronomical.
Yeah, I mean, just throughout the year, what those guys have been able to do for us has been significant. Even, our 7-hole's hitting 481 for us. So, then our 9-hole, Kendall's hitting 360, I think. So, we've been aggressive offensively all year, at least. And the one thing we did this weekend is we just played with a lead. Our pitching gave us a chance to put zeros up on the board so our offense could get ahead and then pull ahead, as opposed to try to play from behind each time. So, offensively, we did a lot of good things against Wilmington, but I want us to see us continue that here against Wittenberg, and obviously throughout the year, we're going to hit a slump at some point. Some guys are going to kind of get cold at times, but it's expected. And right now we've got some good things going, but we're not everything going. So again, if we are able to get that, it could be even scarier.
I looked at the 5 games you played here. I think you're averaging over 12 runs and over 14 hits. What is amazing about that is that your hit ratio to run ratio is almost even.
Well, hey, I'll take that all year then. Let's do that.
But it also comes down to pitching, as you said earlier. You had a good 3-game series against Wilmington. And of course, we talked with Howie a little bit yesterday, and his approach was, you know what, I was trying to hurry early in the season. I slowed myself down and just got myself back to where I needed to be. So he didn't panic early either, did he?
No, and I hope all of our guys can say we were going too fast early on in the mound, and now we can slow it down because we've got more innings underneath our belt. I mean, the more they go out there and play, the better it's going to be. We've got a young pitching staff outside of some veterans and some guys have been around, and the young guys are very talented, but the only way they're going to get more seasoning and more experience is by going out there. We're going to have another freshman on the mound today, a guy that we're really high on, Kyle Gorman, who threw well in his start against Heidelberg last week. We only threw for 3 innings because we want to get some of the guys out there today. We're going to run with him and see what he can give us, and we just want a quality start. We asked him to give us more zeros than, obviously throughout each inning out there, compete for us, not give up the free base, which is a base on ball or hit by pitch, and defensively, that's Let's make the routine play behind them and not give them many errors that they're getting on. If we can do those things with the offense you talk about, we should be able to keep ourselves where we want to be at the end of the game.
You know, Steve, when you look at this team early and you look at those young guys and they're throwing, someone might have thought, man, these guys are just struggling right now. But as you said, they're talented, and pitching in college is a whole lot different than pitching in high school.
It is. These guys are facing, in high school you're facing a 3 and 4, that's it. Now you're facing, everybody's 3 and 4 out of high school, now is hitting 1 through 9 in the lineup. It's a lot of talent, and sometimes I think we overthink things out there as pitchers. We got to be perfect, got to be fine, and really sometimes you can leave a pitch on the outer half, and that guy can put a good swing on it. You can leave a pitch in the middle of the plate, and you can get him to pop out. So it really depends. It's just baseball.
It's funny you said that because I was watching some baseball before I got here today, and they're saying the same thing. Is sometimes we're trying to be too fine instead of like your approach is, let's just attack these hitters.
Absolutely, attack the hitters. I mean, again, if we do that, we're going to dictate counts, and we're going to get the hitter to put our pitch in play that we want, as opposed to us having to come in and then hit the pitch that they want.
This Wittenberg team, they've struggled over the last couple of years. They're kind of off to a slow start this year. What do you expect out of them today, knowing that, again, you're the favorite in the HCAC, and they're a former foe out of the NCAC, and they like to get back on the winning side of things. What do you expect out of them today?
I expect them to be much better than what their record states they are. They're a team that's young right now, new coach, brand new system he's trying to implement this year, and it's kind of been a little slow to start there. But knowing that they're the team they are and the conference they are, they're going to have a lot of talented guys there. They just haven't played well yet early, and we're hoping that they continue to not do that against us today. But we're expecting them to give us a good test out there. And that's what you want. You want your non-conference games again to test you going into your conference weekend, especially with us having roads this weekend.
They don't run a whole lot. I think they have only 7 stolen bases up to this point. And the reason I bring that up is your catcher, Cody Krumloff, what a job he's done this year. And, he's not afraid to throw guys out trying to steal second base. He'll snap throw no matter where it is. How important has Cody been for you this early in the season?
Unreal. Again, when you look at a senior and we have so many young pitchers in the mound, he does a great job leading those guys that can control the game for him. Today, we're actually going to give him the day off behind the dish. He's going to DH. We're going to give Danny Doppel a start back there. Kind of some of the reasons you said. They don't run very much, and we want to give Cody, if he's going to possibly be a guy that might go every game in a weekend series for us, plus a midweek, you got to give him some time off. And also see what else you have to for the future, as well as when Cody does need a rest, we have to get somebody else out there. And Danny Doppel has done well for us so far out there. And Cody has a weapon. You look at that. I think it was game 3 when those guys were getting guys on early in the game, and first runner, second runner, we're back picking them and getting them out there. That's demoralizing to a team, and it makes them think about that. And honestly, I think that's why we're seeing a lot of success offensively. If you look at the weekend, how many stolen bases we had, they were caring more about the runner on base than who's at the plate, and that's why we're driving pitches that we wanted. And I hope that, again, when they look at our stats, they see those things, that this team's going to run, we've got to focus on the runners, but you can't forget about the guys at the plate.
I've got to bring that up, too, just like you said. The amount of stolen bases over the last 2 to 3 games is just amazing. We talked about that earlier in the year. You weren't running as much maybe in those first 3 games, but that part of the game is really starting to pick up.
Well, again, like I said, when you play with the lead, you can do the things you want to do on their offense. And early on, we were playing from behind every single time, so you can't give up outs there. Even though we're really good at stolen base, our percentage is really good. We got to be so smart about what we're doing there. And I'm excited for us to continue that. Hopefully today, do the same thing. They've got a catch that throws well as well. His numbers are pretty good there, but we got to test ourselves. We got to get guys on base early in the innings, and we like to run them instead of bunt and not give up the out that way. But also, again, draw attention to ourselves. Even if we're not going somewhere at the base, we want to think we are. If we can do that, then we've really helped ourselves offensively.
And this is important too because again, your 3-game set coming up on the road at Rose, and want to get maybe if you could a comfortable lead today, get some other guys in there that can get a little more season, you might say. That you never know, you might need it this weekend.
Yeah, you'd love to. I mean, that's what we want to use another conference game too. Put some guys in positions that again, you might not put them in a conference game, but just so that if they need to be out there, they've done it before. They've seen those things. So again, that's what we're going to do. We're going to mix a little thing up there with Danny catching as opposed to we probably have Cody back there in the midweek ones. But we'd like to be ahead and get some of our younger offensive guys that haven't had as much time, some more at-bats out there, because you never know. I mean, right now we're with Walter and a little bit of a tweak in his arm right there. We're probably not going to have him this weekend, so another guy's going to have to step up. But the earlier you have to go with your younger guys, and then when you get yourself to full strength, how much better can you be when those guys have a little more seasoning like we talked about?
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
As I mentioned there, Walter will not pitch this weekend, so they'll give him a little more rest after tweaking that elbow this past week, so we'll see how he comes out this week as well. Scouting Report is brought to you by Harrington Oak Insurance. Let's take a look at this Wittenberg baseball team, 2-6 coming in. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. They have struggled over the last few years. In fact, the most wins they have had over the last 3 seasons was last year at 12. They lost their last matchup to Mount Union, that final score of 5-3. They led 3-1 after 5 innings. Let that one get away. They managed just 6 hits in that ball game. Josh Kaplan went 2 for 4. Now, they do have some hitting in this lineup. Don't get me wrong about that. They've got some guys who can stroke the baseball. Matt Baker, 367. Josh Kaplan at 379. Dalton Boucher, a former Richmond Jazz player, 333. Also in their lineup, you have Brad Malott, who is at 318, and Adam Mays at 389. So those guys can hit the baseball. One thing they haven't been able to do is put the pitching together as consistently this year. And we'll find out today if Jonathan Forster will be able to get his second win of the year, 1-2 with an ERA of 5.54. We'll come back, get the starting lineups coming up in a couple of moments, and we'll talk a little bit about today's starting pitcher for the Earlham Quakers. It'll be Kyle Gorman, the freshman, gets the start as we continue the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Here's that Wittenberg lineup this afternoon. Matt Baker will lead things off. He'll be in left field, batting second at second base, Josh Kaplan. Hitting third at third base is Brad Malott. The cleanup hitter and catching, Adam Mays. Dalton Boucher will hit fifth in right field. Timmy Bates hitting sixth at first base. Aaron Fasano hitting seventh and DHing. Ryan Probst hitting eighth at shortstop. And Jace Bargee will be hitting ninth. He will be in center field. For the Quakers this afternoon, Nate Barger gets the lead off at third base. Nate Lynch batting second at center field. Brennan Laird hitting third at shortstop. The cleanup hitter, Eric Elkis, he'll be at first base. Danny Dopp will be catching this afternoon, hitting fifth. Hitting sixth and DHing is Cody Krumloff. Isaiah Shake will bat seventh and play left field this afternoon. Addison Robertson hitting eighth at second base. And Kendall Baker hitting in the number 9 hole. He will be in right field. We'll come back. First pitch is right around the corner. Stay right there. This is Earlham Baseball, and this has been the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you were born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all handpicked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at tonyscarsales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars. Hi, this is Troy Darengowski of Radio Troy Digital Sports. There are plenty of places for me to get lunch or dinner, but there's only one Mancino's. In fact, I was just there for lunch the other day and had a delicious pizza grinder. That's just one of many choices I can get at Mancino's. How about a fresh salad? Several varieties of pasta, Mancino's Lights, or perhaps even an oven-baked spaghetti, or maybe a pepperoni pizza. So when you're looking for a great lunch or dinner, make sure you choose Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond. We'd like you to know why public power is important to you. In small towns and cities across America, locally owned public power systems like ours represent local people working together to meet local needs. Our only purpose is to provide an essential service at the lowest possible cost. This makes a big difference in rates and service, and all the benefits we produce at home stay at home. Richmond Power and Light, your locally owned electric utility. Together, we make powerful partners.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
Hey, today's game being brought to you in part by Harrington Oak Insurance. At Harrington Oak, they spend every day working to make our community better, safer, and more enjoyable because their focus is on insurance, and that's it. They're on top of industry changes and are a one-stop shop for all your insurance needs, whether it's business, personal, life, or health. That's why when it comes to protecting you and what's important to you, Harrington Oak insures it. Give them a call at 962-9502 or go to their website at harringtonoak.com for more information. Well, Kyle Gorman will be making his fifth appearance, just his second start of the year. He's only thrown 4 1/3 innings. He has given up 9 hits, 8 runs, 5 of those earned. He has 2 strikeouts and 3 walks and an ERA of 10.38. And you heard Coach Sack talk about him a couple of moments ago. Still feels he is throwing better than maybe what his numbers may show coming into this one here this afternoon. Start time at about 4:02 on this cold Wednesday. We're hoping this may be the last push
for Wittenberg, the left fielder,
of
number
winter.
7, Matt Baker.
Right now, sunny skies, 38. The real field temperature down to only 29 here this afternoon in Richmond. As Matt Baker, 367, no home runs, and 4 runs driven in, will step to the plate. This one popped up foul. And we are underway here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium. Great to have you with us as the Quakers again here this afternoon, then travel on the road this weekend at Rose-Hulman. Baker, Kaplan, and Malott. The next pitch on the way hit foul. And Wittenberg's leadoff hitter, Baker, coming out swinging the bat in his first plate appearance this afternoon. As a team, Wittenberg hitting at just .255. As the right-hander Gorman, a long look at Dopp, getting the start behind the plate in a breaking ball. This is going to be lifted into shallow right field. Coming in is Baker, and he will make the basket catch. And there is one away. Defensively for the Quakers this afternoon, Dopp will get the start behind the plate. Elkis at first.
18,
Robertson at second. Laird at short, and Barger down at third. Shake in left, Lynch in center, and Baker in right. And here's Josh Kaplan, 379. No home runs. He has driven in 4 on the year. And the right-handed hitter will step to the plate, and the first pitch grounded back up the middle. That's a base hit. So we saw Baker swinging at the first pitch, Kaplan swinging at the first pitch, and we have our first base runner of the day.
The third baseman,
and that'll bring up now Brad Malott. Malott at 318 on the year. No home runs. He has driven in 3. So the Tigers with a man on. Here at the top of the first inning, the stretch and the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Malott, the left-handed hitter, swings and hits this one toward the second baseman. Robertson to Laird. The relay to first is in time, and a 4-6-3 double play, and that will do it for the Tigers here in the top of the first inning. We head to the bottom half of inning number 1. Wittenberg, nothing. Earlham coming to bat. This is Quakers Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank. A bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
Back once again here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium on the campus of Earlham College. Today's game brought to you in part by Square Donuts of Richmond. Whether it's a delicious breakfast, afternoon treat, or midnight snack, everyone loves the taste of Square Donuts of Richmond. Enjoy their huge cinnamon rolls or any of the other crowd favorites, including maple bacon, strawberry cheesecake, Oreo cream, pumpkin spice, and more. And, of course, grab those award-winning glazed donuts, voted the #1 donut in the entire state. Proud to be your favorite donut shop and home to the best donuts in town. The only squares around, Square Donuts of Richmond. Quakers will be facing a right-hander this afternoon. Forster on the year, making just his 4th appearance. This is his 3rd start, 13 innings. He's given up 13 hits on the year, 9 runs, 8 earned, 11 strikeouts, and 6 walks. He is 1-2 on the season with an ERA of 5.54. Wind has been blowing straight in this afternoon, this cold Wednesday afternoon, as Nate Barger will lead things off. Barger hitting at .235 on the year. 2 home runs. He has driven in 5 in the first pitch. Is swung on, hit back up the middle. The shortstop, Probst, will throw to first. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the first inning. And that'll bring up Nate Lynch. Well, what a job that Lynch has been doing of late in that series against Wilmington. Lynch ended up stealing 7 bases, went 6 of 11 in that series as well, as the first pitch in there for a strike. By the way, Eric Elkis named the HCAC Hitter of the Week. Howie Smith named the HCAC Pitcher of the Week following their performances against Wilmington. Here's the wind of the pitch on the way, and it's in there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Nate Lynch. Lynch steps back in, takes the pitch low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lynch at .407 on the year, now 12 stolen bases. And those numbers went up quickly after that big series against Wilmington. His slugging percentage has also gone up to .519, nothing compared to what Eric Elkis will show in a few minutes. Pitch is low and inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coach Sack was talking about how good this team can be when they're able to run. And, of course, when you're behind like they were at Sewanee, they were not able to run as much as they wanted to. But, boy, since then they have taken off. This one is hit to the left side. The third baseman will make the catch. That is going to be Malott in foul territory. And there are 2 away. And that'll bring up Brandon Laird.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 17, Brennan Laird.
379 on the year, home run. He has driven in 13. He is now 5 of 7 in the stolen base department. So again, 2 away, and the first pitch is outside, ball 1. Quakers have won 3 straight, now 4-4. Of course, we're going to talk about some of their numbers in the hitting department from their top hitters and what they have done recently. Pitches outside, 2-0. Look up and down this lineup. Lynch at 407, Laird at 379, Elkus 412, Dopp 400, Shake 481, Kendall Baker just a mere 360. As Forster, the right-hander, and that wind again very rarely will come in straight center field, but that's where it's coming in this afternoon as that pitch is high and inside. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. We've seen the wind here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium for the majority so far of this early spring, blowing straight out center field or to right field. Here's the wide and the pitch on the way. This time Forrester catches the outside corner. And the count now 3-1. Brennan ended up with 8 runs driven in that 3-game series against Wilmington. Here's your 3-1 pitch on the way, and it's low and outside for ball 4. So the Quakers have a man on here in the bottom of the first inning. And here's Eric Elkus.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 19, Eric Elkus.
By the way, Elkus named to the D3Baseball.com Team of the Week. Hit over 600 for the week, driving in 13 runs. His slugging percentage during that time was 1.067. The pitch on the way to Elkus in there for a strike, and the right-hander Forrester knows he'll have to be careful with this guy. Elkus 7 of 11 in that series. He had 9 runs driven in. 6 in the 1 contest as the throw to first, not in time to get Brennan Laird. And here's a great opportunity here for Laird. The Quakers now as a team have stolen 36 bases. Those numbers were very low after the first 3 games. But again, they played behind in the 3 matchups against Sewanee, and it really cut their ability to run down. The stretch, and time will be called. Of course, we had Eric on our show yesterday, the Strictly Baseball program we do every week with Steve Sakositz, and this young man right here not only credits those guys in front of him, but he's got some guys behind him like Danny Dopp and Isaiah Shaker hitting well. The stretch once again by Forster. Runner takes off. The pitch is high. The throw down to second, not in time, and Laird with an easy stolen base. One ball and 1 strike now to Elkus. And the Quakers have a runner in scoring possession here in the bottom of the first inning. Outfield will play it straight away. Shake, Lynch, and Baker, Bargy, and Boucher in the outfield for Wittenberg. As Forster comes to the stretch and the pitch, and a breaking ball high and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Earlham here at home over the last, in fact, the 5 games they've played here at home, they're averaging 12.5 runs per game here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium. The stretch once again by Forster, and the pitch, swing and a miss. Big cut that time by Elkus. Two away here in the bottom of the first inning. Earlham trying to get on the board. Win here today will make it 4 straight. They'll head to Rose at 5-4. Forster again will check the runner at second as he comes set, and the pitch on the way is outside for a ball. So we'll go full count. Three balls, 2 strikes to Elkus. Eric now on the year, 4 home runs. He has driven in 21. We mentioned his slugging percentage last week. This week coming in at .882. And he's now hitting at .412. Forster again, a long look at second. The pitch is swung on and hit foul. And we'll stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Get the run support again today. It'll certainly help Kyle Gorman in just his second start. As Forster again will take a look at the runner at second. The pitch way outside, and that'll be a walk. And Earlham now with runners at first and second, and that'll bring up Danny Dopp.
At bat, the catcher, number 7, Danny Dopp.
Top the home runs, 11 runs driven in. And what a pleasant surprise this young man has been so far this season. Dopp out of South Haven, Michigan. And now Earlham runners at first and second. Here's the stretch and the pitch, and it's a called strike. Now the pitcher, Forster, may have, I don't know if somebody's got some blood on their finger or he has developed a blister already, man. It'd be awful early for that. I'm going to check that baseball, and now here comes the trainer to take a look at his, must be his pinky finger. I'm not sure if he has developed something on that finger, if he ended up cutting it somewhere, but they're going to check him out, so Forster will be checked out here, and while they see if he will be all right, want to remind you that today's game brought to you in part by your Richmond area Subway. Each day of the week you can get a different 6-inch sub with no artificial flavors or colors, just $3.50. With it being Wednesday, it's the turkey breast, Thursday the Italian BMT, and then Friday the tuna. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. And now we'll see the head coach come out for Wittenberg as well. And a little bit unusual that we'll have a situation this early for a pitcher. Generally what you would see is something later in the game, if it might have been a blister developing at some point, but he really hasn't thrown enough pitches unless at some point earlier this year he had developed that blister, and it has come back here this afternoon already. So they'll give Forster a chance to throw a couple of pitches and see if he'll be all right. The Quakers runners at first and second after Forster got the first 2 outs. See if those walks will come back and get him here in the first inning. Dopp behind in the count of no balls and a strike when time was called, so Dopp will step back in. So Laird down at second base, Elkis at first. The stretch again by Forster. And the pitch on the way is low for a ball. Mention Earlham after today rose their first opponent in the opening of the HCAC schedule, then back here against Bluffton and Franklin for 5. Before that extended road trip. Forster again with a pitch on the way, and the catcher Mays tried to frame that one in the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Mays behind the plate, Bates at first, Kaplan at second, Probst at short, Malott is at third. Baker, Bargy, and Boucher in the outfield. Every once in a while you hear that wind pick up, which makes things a little bit colder here this afternoon. This one hit foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quakers now making the right-hander Forster work here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the stretch again by Forster. And the pitch on the way, hit back up the middle. That could fall in for a base hit and does. That'll score one run. On his way to third is Elkis, and a base hit and a run driven in by Dopp, and Earlham on top of this one, 1-0. Nice piece of hitting by Dopp.
Now batting, the designated hitter,
Here's
number
Cody
5, Cody Crumlow.
Krumloff will step up, hitting .250 on the year. A home run. He has driven in 10. Talked extensively in the pregame with Coach Sack about the value of Cody Krumloff as a catcher, and this young man really helping out this young pitching staff. But again, we'll get the day off here today as the pitch is up high for a ball. He very well may catch all 3 games on the road at Rolls-Hulman this weekend. So Elkis at third, Dopp at first. Now Dopp right now not a stolen base threat, just 1 for 1 so far. This one is lifted foul and out of play. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander already throwing in the Wittenberg bullpen. Curious for Forster if that injury to his hand is affecting him, and I'm not sure they ended up putting a Band-Aid on his hand. If they did, that certainly has to, and you could tell by that pitch, that may affect his grip on the baseball. Forster now wiping down the baseball as he takes his time coming back here in the bottom of the first inning. The stretch and the pitch, and this time it's outside. And Krumloff had in this one 3 balls and a strike. Base hit by Dopp. Driving in the run, that's where we stand here in the bottom of the first inning. Runner first will take off, and this one hit foul. Good cut by Krumloff. Three balls, 2 strikes, and the throw to first, making sure Dopp doesn't get a huge lead down at first base. Of course, he'll get a good jump right here with a count of 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. That Witt outfield will stay straight away as Forster comes into the stretch. And the runner takes off, ground ball to the left side. That'll get through for a base hit. That'll score a run. And Earlham on top of this one, 2-0.
At bat, the left fielder, number 33, Isaiah Shake.
Here is Isaiah Shake, as Earlham has put 2 runs on the board here in the bottom of inning number 1, and a good start once again for this Earlham offense is Isaiah Shake hitting at .481. No home runs. He has driven in 4. So now Forster set to throw on the pitch, grounded back up the middle. The shortstop Probst will step on the bag, and that will do it for the Quakers here in the first inning. But a productive first inning. And on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Earlham jumping on top of this one, 2-0. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports and Richmond Power and Light. We're committed to Richmond. We've been a part of this community for over 114 years. We're not part of some big energy conglomerate, and we don't answer to out-of-town stockholders. Instead, we are accountable to you. And just like you, we want what's best for our hometown. That means you can count on us to provide reliable electricity at low rates. We are Richmond Power and Light, your hometown electric utility, building Richmond a better tomorrow. For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give them a call at 966-0994. Back once again here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium. Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. He has an idea for an alternative fundraiser for your school, group, or nonprofit. If you list, buy, or refer a customer and mention this promotion, he'll donate 10% of what he makes on the transaction to the school, group, or nonprofit of your choice in your name. Tell your friends, family, colleagues to mention this offer when listening with Jason Wise at Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. Give him a call at 969-3400. Mays, Boucher, and Bates all due up for
Leading off the
Wittenberg
top
here
of
in
the
the
second
second.
inning for Wittenberg, the catcher, number 25, Adam Mays.
Mays hitting at .389, no home runs. He has driven in 4. Wittenberg has been aggressive. Their first 3 hitters coming out swinging the bat. As that pitch is low and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Kyle Gorman, the right-hander, with that high leg kick, and that's fouled away. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Talk about production. We'd mentioned in the pregame, you look at the 2 runs, 2 hits for the Quakers here today. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. But you look at the production in the last, in fact, the 5 games played here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium. The Quakers are averaging 12.5 hits. Take that back, 12.5 runs. That's hit foul. Might have caught a piece of the catcher Dopp on his throwing hand. 12.5 runs, 13.8 hits in their 5 games here at home. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Mays. So they get plenty of run support, and their hits that the Quakers are getting, they are making them count. Time will be called here by Mays. And here's the break-even pitch on the way, and it will be lifted into shallow left field. Coming in and making the catch will be the left fielder Shake. And there's 1 away, and that'll bring up Dalton Boucher.
With 1 out, now batting the right fielder, number 22, Dalton Boucher.
Boucher at .333 on the year, no home runs. He has driven in 2. And the first pitch to the left-handed hitter is popped up to the left side. The third baseman near the gate, and that will go out of play as Barger gives it a long look. And no balls and a strike. Now to Boucher. Gorman a long look into Dopp now with the pitch. And it's outside for a ball. We talked with Howie Smith yesterday on Strictly Baseball, and the one thing that he changed from the earlier start against Sewanee to his most previous start. Here's a ground ball back up the middle as Robertson gets to it, but the throw to first not in time to get Boucher, and that'll be an infield base hit. So the Tigers with a man on, and that'll bring up Timmy Bates.
6, Tim Bates.
Bates at 103. No home runs. He has driven in 2. So the Tigers now with their second base hit as Gorman into the stretch and the pitch in there for a strike. We'll go back to yesterday. I mentioned with Howie Smith, he felt he was just rushing it too much in his first start at Sewanee, and then he comes back here and he got a relief appearance or two, but his last start as the throw goes to first, his last start against Wilmington, said he just slowed things down and went at his pace, and it produced a complete game win. The stretch once again by Gorman, and the pitch on the way is high and inside. This is where the Tigers are struggling a little bit in the hitting. You look at Bates at 103, Fasano with no batting average, Bargy with no batting average at the bottom of the order. The 1-1 pitch, Boucher takes off, and this one hit foul. We saw Boucher play the last couple of summers, at least in part, with the Richmond River Rats before they left town, and the Jazz came in last year. He got a little bit of time with them. So the throw down to first, a little bit off the mark, and Elkis almost got to the bag in time, but throw was a little bit wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Bates. Boucher, by the way, was known to run a little bit in his brief time with both those teams over the summers. That breaking pitch a little bit high and inside. And a full count now to Bates. Well, if you're really struggling at times scoring, let's see if Wittenberg will try to get something going right here. Once again with Boucher down at first. Gorman gets the sign from Dopp. Here's the pitch on the way. Popped up foul to the right and out of play. And we'll stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes. This will be a huge lift for Gorman if they need him this weekend. Again, with the Quakers not having the services of Walter Talcott. He will be getting an MRI, and just to make sure everything is okay. The pitch is inside as the runner takes off, and we have runners now at first and second. As Bates will draw the walk, and that'll bring up Aaron Fasano.
Now batting the DH number 34, Aaron Fasano.
Fasano's only played in 4 games this year, just 3 at-bats. As Gorman into the stretch, the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. It was a nice 4-6-3 double play that got Gorman out of inning number 1. Let's see if he can get another ground ball right here. The pitch is up high. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Earlham on top, 2-0. Wittenberg trying to come back here in the second. As Gorman again will check Boucher down at second base. And here's the pitch on the way, hit foul. Good cut there by Fasano. With the Quakers evening the record at 4-4. There are now 5 teams at 500 and over as that pitch high and outside in the HCAC. Hanover now 9-4. Bluffton at 7-3. Franklin 8-5. Some of the teams playing better now as we get a little bit warmer, but again today is that pitch way outside 3-2. Most of the teams starting to get a little more momentum going into the conference season. But again, Rose, the defending champions, they have struggled early. They're 2-10 going into action today. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Fasano. The stretch, and they'll look the runner back to second. Boucher got a good lead down at second base. All right, now for Gorman. He can get himself out of trouble here in the second as that pitch hit foul. And Fasano battling here in the second inning. These two teams have not played, if I'm not mistaken, since 2014. Earlham won that contest by a final of 8-6. These two teams will play again later in the year. April 26th, popped up. The catcher, Dopp, will give it a look near the fence, and he will run out of room. And we'll stay 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, if you're the Tigers, you love to see your hitter battle like this and make that starter throw a lot of pitches, continue to work this early in the ball game. And the freshman set to go to work once again. The pitch on the way, hit foul. Another good cut that time by Fasano. One away here in the second inning. Boucher at second, Bates at first. Laird will bluff the runner back. That pitch is inside, and that'll load him up. And we will have a visit to the mound. Second consecutive walk given up by Gorman, and that's the one thing that Steve Sakasitz will talk about time and time again is, boy, just don't walk anyone, and that's what happened in the series against Wilmington. Very few walks, and they ended up winning all 3 games. Ryan Probst will step to the plate. Probst hitting 300 no home runs. He has driven in 3. Well, get a ground ball right here, you get out of the inning. If you can turn the double play. Right now, bases are loaded.
At bat, the shortstop, number 2, Ryan Probst.
Let's see what Gorman will do right here. Again, with just 1 away here in the top of the second inning. With the pitch on the way is a breaking ball low and outside. The stretch and the 1-0 delivery is right down the middle for a strike, and a fastball that time by Gorman. Boucher at third, Bates at second, and Fasano down at first. Here's the break-even pitch on the way. This one is hit to the right side. Baker will give it a look, and that'll go out of play. So now Gorman ahead in the count at 1-2, and we'll see Brennan Laird, the shortstop, come over and say something to Gorman. Probst, the number 8 hitter, and now Gorman and Dopp will have to get together. One ball and 2 strikes. Gorman after the short meeting into the stretch and the pitch, and he's way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Gorman again trying to get himself into trouble here in the second. That one hit foul. Nothing much you can say right here for Gorman. He's just going to have to throw strikes. Trying to get this hitter right here if he can and get out of this inning. The stretch, and again the break-even pitch on the way. That one kind of a half swing that time by Probst as he fouls it into the screen. It will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going to find out right here what Gorman's made of if he can get out of this inning. What a lift it would be for his confidence. They're going to let him go as long as he can go today. Here's the pitch on the way, hit foul again. But you heard earlier Coach Sachs say we're going to let him go, and they've had games earlier where they've had a pitch count or a inning limit on these guys. They love him to go as deep as he can into this game and save that bullpen if need be for this weekend. The break-even pitch one more time. This one's going to be hit to the right side. That'll get through. Boucher will score. Baker coming up and ready to throw. So 1 run will score. And Wittenberg gets on the board. And they will still have the bases loaded here in the second inning.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 5, Chase Bargy.
Probst will drive in his 4th run. And here is Bargy. Bargy, a left-handed hitter, will step in. And again, still just 1 away. Ground ball again to the right side. Second baseman Robertson will throw to first, and they'll get him, but a run will score. And the Tigers have come back to tie this ball game at 2 apiece.
At bat, the left fielder, number 7, Matt Baker.
So we go to the top of the order. Here's Baker. And still runners at second and third. Baker flew out to right field his first time up. And the pitch on the way. This one is hit to left field. This could be trouble. Coming over will be Shake. He'll make the catch. And that'll do it for the Tigers here in inning number 2. But Wittenberg picks up 2 runs. We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 2. We're knotted at 2 apiece. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
It takes a lot of pieces working together to run a successful business in today's world. One big piece is your connectivity, powered by your internet. For local businesses in Richmond, you have options for who provides your internet. When deciding who to go with, you need to look at Parallax Systems, fiber optic packaging for your benefit. Speed, reliability, and local service, you get it all with Parallax Systems, a division of RP&L. Visit online at parallax.ws or call 962-3770.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
Earlhamites, you don't need to be on the heart to feel close to it. Your Earlham Alumni Council is here to help all of our alumni stay connected, to support students, and to ensure that Earlham is strong for years to come.
Well, we're back once again here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium. Addison Robertson will lead things off for the Quakers, followed by Kendall Baker, and then back to the top of the order, Nate Barger. And the first pitch on the way is in there for a strike from Forster. Robertson coming in at 143, no home runs. He has driven in 3, and that pitch is a called strike, and he's quickly behind at 0-2. Maybe this is the final time we'll see the Quakers bundling up here this afternoon as this one hit foul. We'll stay at 0-2. Maybe the players only using the long sleeves, but scarves around their neck and over their head and around their face area because of the temperatures here again today. And appears, at least at this point, we haven't made it above 40. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way, and boy, once again, Forster trying to snap off a breaking pitch, and I just don't think he's got good enough grip. We saw him again with Bill Kinsey, the trainer for Earlham, earlier. Had something wrong with that right pinky finger. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way, and this one's going to be hit down the line, and that'll go out of play. We'll stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kendall Baker, of course, you look at all the numbers everyone has put up in this offensive lineup we talked about earlier, and Baker hitting .360 and barely anyone notices. That one hit foul again. We'll stay at 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery on the way is high and inside. And now 2 balls, 2 strikes. The break-even pitch on the way is low and outside. We'll go to 3-2. And now the 3-2 pitch popped up foul and out of play. And we saw a couple of hitters for Wittenberg battling in their half inning. Robertson doing it here for the Quakers. Payoff pitch once again. Ground ball to the right side. The second baseman, Kaplan, will throw to first, and there's one away. Mention here's Kendall Baker. Baker .360 on the year, no home runs. He is driven in
now
2.
Batting, the right fielder, number 1, Kendall Baker.
Baker showing bunt. He'll draw the third baseman Malott in. He'll take the pitch for a strike. We've seen Baker already this year get a couple of bunt base hits from the left side. That pitch is low. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Two-two ball game as we play here in the bottom of the second. Mentioned earlier where the Quakers are getting a lot of awards this week. Elkis, the D3Baseball.com Team of the Week at first base. And, of course, with Howie and Elkis and the week they had, swing and a miss. Both recognized by the conference. And Kendall behind at 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch on the way, and it's low and outside, 2-2. Ground ball to the right side. Second baseman once again, Kaplan, will throw into first, 2 away. Here's Barger.
With 2 outs, now batting the third baseman, number 20, Matt Barger.
Barger grounded out his first time up. Nate, one of those guys you want to get on base. 6 of 6 in the stolen base department. getting the start down at third, and he'll take that pitch low for a ball. The wind and the pitch. Got the outside corner for a strike. The 1-1 pitch on the way is up high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Forster gets the sign from Mays. The pitch on the way, and this one is lifted to center field. That's a base hit. So Barger, a 2-out single. And the Quakers have a man on here in the second. Here's Nate Lynch.
At bat, the center fielder, number 2, Nate Lynch.
Lynch 0 for 1. He popped up his first time up. So for the Quakers, they now have their third base hit. The pitch on the way, check swing in there for a strike. Mentioned a little bit ago, Barger 6 of 6 in the stolen base department. Quakers have 1 stolen base today, and that was Brennan in the first inning. We'll keep an eye on Barger. The stretch by Forster and the pitch. It's a pitch out. Mays perhaps expecting Barger to take off down at first base. That's what we certainly mentioned time and time again. You're splitting your concentration. Forster having to throw to a hitter like Lynch and then keep an eye on Barger. That's why this Earlham team can be so dangerous. Now 1 through 9. The pitch outside again. Time will be called again as Forster dealing with that right hand one more time. This is the second time we have seen him take that glove off and then working on the right hand. See if Barger goes right here. 2 balls and a strike. The stretch and the pitch, and he misses again way outside. 3-1. I doubt Barger will go here. They'll give Lynch a chance to hit. I would imagine you're up 3-1. Look for something around the plate right here, and the last thing that Forster wants to do is put 2 guys on. I say that, and he takes off anyway. It wouldn't have mattered. That was ball 4. So Lynch on base. Quakers have runners at first and second with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Brandon Laird.
Number 17, Brandon Laird.
Brennan walked, stole a base, scored one of the 2 runs for the Quakers in the first inning. So now Forster, after getting the first 2 out, in trouble a little bit here in the second. The stretch by the right-hander and the pitch on the way is a breaking ball low and outside. And now a visit by Mays. There again is a right-hander throwing into the Wittenberg bullpen. And he is hurrying up a little bit more than he was just a second ago. See if we can pick up who it is. Hard to see from where we are. It's number 14 who is warming up. That'll be Brandon Beagle, a sophomore out of Springfield, Ohio. So after a short meeting, here we go again as Forster will check the runner at second. That's Barger. The stretch and the pitch on the way, and he misses low and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Boy, how many times have we seen Quakers score with 2 outs in an inning since they've been in this ballpark? Time will be called again, and Forster Nothing wrong with the hand this time. Apparently a little bit of wind may have blown. There is that little patch of dirt that the pitchers work on. Everything else is turf here at Randall R. Sadler. The stretch and the pitch on the way is in there for a strike. By the way, the dimensions in this ballpark, 310 down the left field line, but again, the tiered fence, the Earlham Monster in left, 375 in the alleys, 390 dead center, and 325 down the right field line. But again, with that wind blowing in the way it is today, it'll take quite a shot to get it out of here this afternoon. The stretch and the pitch on the way, grounded right back to the pitcher, Forster. He'll throw to first, and that's going to do it for the Quakers here in the second inning. They do get 2 men on, but cannot score. We will head now to inning number 3 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. We're tied at 2 apiece. This is Quaker Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hey Chuck, where are you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for like the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto, in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians, and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf, and I approve this message.
This afternoon's broadcast brought to you in part by Harrington Oak Insurance. At Harrington Oak, we spend every day working to make this community better, safer, and more enjoyable because their focus is on insurance, and that's it. They're on top of industry changes and are a one-stop shop for all your insurance needs, whether it's business, personal, life, or health. That's why when it comes to protecting you and what's important to you, Harrington Hoke insures it. Give them a call at 962-9502.
Leading off the top of the third inning, the second baseman, number 18, Josh Kaplan.
Josh Kaplan will lead things off. It's Kaplan, Malott, and Mays now for the Tigers. Kaplan singled in the first inning, was part of that 4-6-3 double play that ended things for the Tigers. And the first pitch by Gorman will skip away from Dopp. 1 ball, no strikes. Remind you can keep up to date on all the Earlham baseball news and all the Earlham sports news on GoEarlham.com. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way, and it caught the outside corner for a strike. Get all the updated statistics, pictures, and much, much more. Again, at GoEarlham.com. This pitch low and outside, 2-1. Gorman gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And it's low and away. That's what got him in a little bit of trouble in that second inning. He gave up that infield single to Boucher and then walked the next 2 hitters, and Wittenberg scored 2 runs. Here's your 3-1 pitch. This will be grounded toward the shortstop, and Laird gloves it and then drops it, and that should be an error. So the Tigers will have a man on, and that'll bring up Brad Malott. They will score that a hit.
At bat, the third baseman, number 11, Brad Malott.
So here's Malott. Malott grounded into the double play in the first inning, 0 for 1. He'll take the pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. For the third straight inning, the Tigers with a runner on. Malott will show a bunt. That pitch riding low and inside. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, at the top of the order again, we mentioned you got Baker, Kaplan, Millot, Mays, and Boucher all over 300 on the year. 2-0 pitch is a called strike. Well, this is one of those days, as cold as it is, you really want that pitcher to work quick. Grounded to the right side. The second baseman, Robertson, his only play will be at first. Kaplan advancing down to second base, and with 1 away, that'll bring up Adam Mays.
With 1 out, now batting the catcher, number 25, Adam Mays.
Mays 0 for 1. He flew out to left field his first time up. So now the Tigers with a runner in scoring position, chance to take the lead here in the top of the third. The stretch once again by Gorman, and the pitch is outside for a ball. Mentioned Barger down at third, getting the start today, and of course with the 3-game series coming up on the road at Rose this weekend, they give Dopp a chance to catch this afternoon. Here's the 1-0, swing and a miss. That also will give a chance for Cody Krumloff to get himself ready for this weekend. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch on the way, and that one foul tipped, or was it? Nope, the catcher just dropping that one. Dopp able to recover in time. And Mays behind a 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, you'll hear that wind. Our microphone right outside the press box, so you hear the wind swirling around every once in a while, though the wind has now shifted a little bit toward left field. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. And it's low and outside, 2-2. Mays coming in at 389. Kaplan with a lead down at second base. The break-even pitch on the way, and it's outside again. When he misses bad, he misses really bad. It almost appears at times that Gorman changes his delivery. Instead of coming over the top, he doesn't necessarily go sidearm, but you can tell as that one is fouled away that he drops it down a little bit. I think that affects where that release of his pitch is. That's why he ends up outside as much as he does. That was a better pitch that time. He came back over the top and rode it inside against Mays. We will stay at 3-2. 1 away here in the third. Wittenberg and Earlham tied at 2. The pitch, and there was again. He missed in that same location when he brought that ball down just a little bit. It's only a minor adjustment I think he'll have to make. But now, runners at first and second, and here's Boucher.
Dalton Boucher.
Three walks now by Gorman. Boucher got an infield base hit, scored one of the 2 runs in the second. This is almost the same scenario we saw in the second inning, in which the Tigers scored twice. Gorman's pitch is grounded foul. Boucher can be dangerous simply from the standpoint of the summer experience he has had over the last couple of years, though his time in Richmond last year was very limited. The stretch again by Gorman, the pitch on the way, and this one is hit foul, as that will go down the line and out of play. Boucher coming up swinging the bat here his second time around against Gorman. Well, don't leave one out over the plate right here and see what Gorman will do. And, of course, now Dopp is going to set up on the outside corner. Here's the pitch on the way. That's a pretty good pitch. Didn't give him anything to hit. Possibly an opportunity to maybe get Boucher to fish on the outside. Kaplan down at second. Again, Mays at first. The stretch once again by Gorman. Checks the runner at second. And the pitch on the way. And that got him looking. That's a big strikeout right there, Boucher. And with two away,
now
here's
batting
Bates.
first baseman, number 6, Tim Bates.
Gorman picked up his first strikeout, and none bigger so far than that one of Boucher. Bates walked and scored in the second. The pitch by Gorman is a breaking ball in there for a strike. Boy, nice way to come back here for Gorman. This would be a huge lift. There is a right-hander. It looks like Dalton Carter throwing for the Quakers. Time will be called here by Bates, but boy, this would be huge for Gorman. Bates steps back in with runners at first and second. The pitch. This one is going to be lifted toward right center field. Coming over the right fielder will be Baker. He'll make the catch, and that'll do it for the Tigers here in the third. They'll leave a couple of runners on. We will head to the bottom half of inning number 3. And on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, we're tied at 2 apiece.
Summit Computers in Richmond is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware, service, support, and design services. They also provide web hosting, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and much, much more. Summit Computers, the official provider of RadioTroy.com.
Are new cabinets on your wish list? Visit the new Georgia Direct showroom and see the great variety of cabinets on display in a modern setting. Georgia Direct carries quality craft-made one cabinets, and the new showroom has plenty of styles and colors on display. In Richmond, craft-made one is only available at Georgia Direct, where the designers are always on hand to help create a custom kitchen for your home. Visit Georgia Direct's new showroom on 40 East, next to Red Lobster. You'll love what you see, and you'll love the savings at Georgia Direct.
We're back once again here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium on the campus of Earlham College, and this afternoon's broadcast brought to you in part by Square Donuts of Richmond. Whether it's a delicious breakfast, afternoon treat, or a midnight snack, everyone loves the taste of Square Donuts of Richmond. They're home to the best donuts in town, the only squares around. Square Donuts of Richmond. Here's Elkis walking a run scored back in the first inning. Forrester back once again for his third inning of work. And the first pitch by the right-hander is grounded toward the second baseman. Kaplan will field and throw, 1 pitch, 1 out here in the third. Here's Danny Dopp.
With 1 out, now batting the catcher, number 7, Danny Dopp.
Dopp singled back in the first inning and drove in a run. Wind continues to blow in now, this time straight in center field. And the first pitch is high and inside for a ball. Tiger outfield will stay straight away here for Dopp, the right-handed hitter. The pitch. Got that outside corner. Mentioned Dopp and Isaiah Shake, 2 freshmen hitting over 400 for this Earlham baseball team. And boy, you think about the guys they lost from last year as that pitch is up high. For these guys to step in and make an immediate contribution is huge for the Quakers. Here's the wind and the 2-1 pitch on the way, and it's in there for strike two. Well, for the problems early for Forster, and of course he gave up the 2 runs in the first inning, and we still don't know what the deal was with the right hand. He was holding out the pinky finger at one time, but he seems to now be throwing much better as that pitch is inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got himself out of trouble in that second inning. After getting the first 2 outs, gave up the base hit to Barge and the walk to Lynch, and then finally got Laird to end the inning. Payoff pitch on the way is outside for ball 4.
Now batting,
Here's
the
Krumloff.
designated hitter, number 5, Cody Krumloff.
Krumloff singled in the first inning. Getting the DHing duties here this afternoon. And Dopp again at first base. The stretch by Forster, and the pitch is on the way. Check swing foul. There really can't be enough said about Cody Krumloff and the job he does as a catcher. Anything you can get offensively is just an added bonus. But this guy right here will go down as one of the best defensive catchers the Quakers have had in their history. Throw to first, not in time to get Dopp. Only what he has done over his 4 years here at Earlham, handling the pitching staff over the last couple of years. So this year has more of a little more duty with the young pitching staff they have. Here's your pitch on the way, and it's in there for a strike. One thing you like about Cody from a defensive standpoint, he'll throw to any base at any time, and he doesn't have to get out of his crouch to do it. He'll throw from his knees, and so as a base runner, you always have to be aware. The stretch by Forster, and time called. Mentioned Dopp earlier, not really a stolen base threat, but again, I think the Quakers would send him if they thought it was the right opportunity. And Forster probably knows that. Mays will set up on the outside corner, and there is a swing and a miss. And Krumloff will strike out for out number 2. Here's Isaiah Shake.
With 2 outs, now batting, the left fielder, number 33, Isaiah Shake.
Shake 0 for 1, a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Tied at 2 as we play here in the bottom of the third. And once again, Forster works into the stretch. The pitch on the way, popped him up, back our way. Mays in the high sky, and he will not be able to make the catch as that one falls foul. Good effort again by the catcher, Mays. Mays shouldn't feel too bad. We have seen a lot of opportunities and high fly balls at this ballpark. And again, when it's a clear day, it's awful hard to gauge where that baseball is. Of course, Mays did the right thing, got rid of his mask in time. Here's the pitch on the way, and a breaking ball in there for a strike. And I think Shake thought that pitch was a little bit high and outside. And Isaiah behind it, no balls and 2 strikes. So now Forster trying to get through his second consecutive inning after giving up 2 in the first. The stretch and the pitch on outside. One ball, 2 strikes. Just happen to notice now the center fielder, Bargy, he is shaded toward right field. And a throw to first, not in time. And a little bit off the line will be Shake in left field. Take that back, Baker in left field. So now Forster. Time called once again. This young man is certainly in no hurry to throw here to Isaiah Shake. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. And got him looking. Pretty good pitch that time to Shake, and that'll do it for the Quakers here in the third. We will head to inning number 4 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. We're tied at 2. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
There is one thing for sure in my life. I know nothing about fixing cars. That's why I take my vehicles to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main in Richmond. Their experts have the knowledge to service and repair even the most challenging auto problems. So if you have an automotive question, they have the answers at Beach Automotive, 110 East Main in Richmond. Or give them a call at 765-966-8181 or visit their website, beach-auto.com.
Injured athletes can be evaluated at Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond. Request a same-day or next-day appointment to be evaluated by medical professionals who specialize in strains, sprains, fractures, knee and shoulder injuries, concussions, and other sports-related orthopedic issues. Call 935-8905. That's 935-8905. Or request an appointment online at reedortho.org. Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond.
Fight, fight, inner light. Graduation's in plain sight. Is it true? You're almost through? Your Alumni Council is here for you. Learn more about the Earlham Alumni Council and how we can help at earlham.edu/alumni.
2-2 ball game as we move now to the 4th. Fasano, Probst, and Bargy all due up.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning, the designated hitter, number 34, Aaron Fasano.
Gorman giving up the 2 runs in the 2nd inning so far. He has given up 4 base hits. He has walked 3. Fasano, one of those walks back in inning number 2, and the first pitch on the way is inside for a ball. Gorman gets the sign, the leg kick, and the pitch. This one is going to be hit toward the third baseman, Barger. He'll throw to first, and there's one away. So with 1 out, that'll bring up now Ryan Probst.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Ryan Probst.
Probst singled right field his first time up. Be nice to have Gorman get a 1-2-3 inning like he did in the first. That pitch low and outside. One other thing would be nice for Earlham tonight. They've had a couple of marathon games here. This one back up the middle. And a base hit. Probst 2 for 2. So the Tigers with a man on here in the 4th, and that'll bring up now Bargy.
Number 5, Chase Bargy.
Bargy 0 for 1. Last time I believe we were here from a broadcast standpoint, the one game ended up going 3 hours and 41 minutes. Earlham undoubtedly, they've had some long ones. That pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Tigers have now had a base runner in every inning. Barger will play a step in front of the bag down at third as the throw goes to first. We're talking about how cold it is today. We're expecting things to warm up after tomorrow into the weekend. Should get into the upper 60s, lower 70s for the weekend. This one back up the middle as well, coming on and unable to make the catch is Lynch. And so back-to-back singles.
And the Tigers now have runners at first and second, and here's Baker at the top of the order.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 7, Matt Baker.
Baker's 0 for 2. Earlham earlier had Dalton Carter throwing, and he has since sat down, so just one in the bullpen now. That's over for Wittenberg, as that pitch is a little bit low for a ball. Well, Gorman will have to work himself out of a little bit of a jam once again here in the fourth inning. The stretch and the pitch on the way, and there's that throw to first, and not a bad job by Dopp, a little bit high for Elkis. Two balls and no strikes. I was about ready to say that Gorman came again. Instead of over the top, he came a little bit more, about 75%, and it cost him again on that last pitch. And that one a little bit high, apparently. And it's 3-0. And again, Dalton Carter now begins to throw. Probst at second. Bargy at first. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's a called strike. Well, there's not a whole lot of mystery when Steve Sackasitz, the head coach, starts talking pitching. The bottom line is attack these hitters and stay ahead in the count. Sometimes pitchers try to get too fine and Gorman to look the runner back to second, and sometimes you try to pitch around a hitter too much and end up costing you a lot of walks and base runners. And so far, Gorman has gotten out of trouble in the first and third innings, thanks to the double play in the first inning and that pitch in there for a strike. And now he's coming back here in the fourth, and Baker now makes it 3-2. Baker, the leadoff hitter, coming in at 367. Probst again a lead down at second base. Bargy at first. The stretch and the payoff pitch. Runners take off. This one is hit to the right side. And Baker ends up losing the baseball for a moment. I think that Probst would have scored anyway. Bargy advancing on to third. Baker drives in the go-ahead run. 3 hits in the inning. And the Tigers now lead this one 3-2, and we've got a visit to the mound.
Number 18, Josh Kaplan.
Kaplan will be the next hitter up here for the Tigers. Have to be careful here with Kaplan as well at 379 on the year. Seven base hits now off the right-hander Gorman. This will give the bullpen a little more time to get ready as Dalton Carter out of Brownsburg, the senior, still getting warmed up, and we'll see what they'll do here with Kaplan. This might be the last hitter that Gorman would face, depending on what happens. Runners at first and third. Of course, Baker down at first base. This is not a big running team, but again, as that pitch is outside, your pitcher's struggling. Kaplan singled in the first inning, singled in the third. The stretch again by Gorman. And the pitch on the way is hit down the line, foul. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Talked about it in the pregame. The Wittenberg team only 7 stolen bases coming in, and this has popped up to the right side. And this too will go out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tigers take the lead 3-2 as Gorman trying to hold on here in the 4th inning. Long look at Dopp. Now gets the side as he comes set and look the runner back at first. Gorman again with the sign. Here's the pitch. This one's grounded toward the shortstop, Laird. He'll flip on to Robertson. The turn to first, and got him. Good dig at first base by Elkis. And the second double play for the Quakers here this afternoon. We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 4. Wittenberg on top of this one in the Wesley Baseball Management scoreboard, 3-2.
And leave 1 on base.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
The dealership where I bought my car told me I needed new tires. So, of course, I stopped by Best One and asked Roger to take a look. So they checked it out, and he told me not yet. He said I was good for at least another 10,000 miles. I've always gotten an honest opinion at Best One, and so will you.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark at Best One Tire and Service. We'll only sell you tires when you need new tires, and they'll be the right tires for your car or truck. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
I'll mention the new pitcher now, Brandon Beagle. He's been in the bullpen for a while for Wittenberg. He will now come on. Making just his second appearance, 5 2/3 innings, giving up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 2 strikeouts and 4 walks. He's 0-1 with an ERA of 1.59. Robertson, Baker, and the top of the order, Bargers. That first pitch is low and inside for a ball. Robertson 0 for 1. And the right-hander Beagle set to throw, and the pitch is hit to the right side. Boucher is there, and he'll make the catch, 1 away. And here's Kendall Baker.
With 1 out, now batting the right fielder, number 1, Kendall Baker.
Kendall 0 for 1. Grounded out back in the second inning. Earlham held so far to 3 hits. Swing and a miss. Eagle set to throw, and this one a little bit high. That'll even the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Now this young man Beagle, a much faster worker. Fastball stays upstairs, 2-1. Beagle gets the sign from Mays, the late kick and the pitch, and that one's in there for a strike. Baker didn't like that call. Two balls and 2 strikes to the junior out of Richmond. The break-even pitch on the way, and boy, that didn't miss by much. Beagle thought he had a strikeout right there, and I'm sure that Kendall Baker feels lucky he's still up there. That looked like a pretty good pitch.
The payout pitch on the way, and it's hit foul. Bottom of the fourth inning, Quakers down 3-2. Once again, the 3-2 pitch got him looking. Baker thought he had the walk, but 2 away, and we'll go to Barger at the top of the order. Barger 1 for 2 this afternoon.
Now batting number 20, Matt Barger.
We talked about the Quakers averaging here at home 13, almost 14 hits. This one hit to Kaplan. He'll charge and throw, and the Quakers go down in order here in the fourth as we head to the 5th inning on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Wittenberg on top of Earlham, 3-2.
No runs off, no hits.
Hi, this is Steve Funkhauser, and I was talking to someone the other day about how friendly and professional the crew at Jiffy Lube is, and they said, you are always so upbeat. I'm going to call you Mr. Positive, and so now I am Mr. Positive. And I want you to know how proud I am of you and that you are doing a great job today. And hey, do something nice for somebody. Make somebody smile. Smiles are contagious, you know. I want you to have a great day and the horse you rode in on. Jiffy Lube. Fast, friendly, professional. I'm Mr. Positive, and I approve this message.
Hi, this is Troy Darengowski of Radio Troy Digital Sports. There are plenty of places for me to get lunch or dinner, but there's only one Mancino's. In fact, I was just there for lunch the other day and had a delicious pizza grinder. That's just one of many choices I can get at Mancino's. How about a fresh salad? Several varieties of pasta, Mancino's Lights, or perhaps even an oven-baked spaghetti, or maybe a pepperoni pizza. So when you're looking for a great lunch or dinner, make sure you choose Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond.
Hey, alumni! Wondering how you can stay connected to Earlham? The Alumni Office is here to make the connection last by organizing events in your area, representing alumni voices on campus, and helping you get connected to resources across our global community.
Malott, Mays, and Boucher to up here as we move to the 5th inning.
The third baseman, number
Quakers
11,
down
Brad
3-2. Gorman back in for another inning of work. Let's see if he can sail through this one. He's had the benefit of 2 double plays as that pitch is outside. Had the 4-6-3 back in the first and a 6-4-3 in the fourth. Here's the wind and the 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. Malott grounded out in the first, grounded out in the third, 0 for 2 today, and this is grounded toward the third baseman, Barger. He drops it and then throws to first, dug out at first by Elkis, and there's one away. We talked earlier about the defense
now batting the catcher, number 25, Adam Mays.
that Cody Krumloff provides behind the plate, but how about Elkis at first? I don't think he gets enough credit for the job he can do digging out low throws at first base. Here's Mays, 0 for 1. And the pitch is inside, 1 ball, no strikes. We have seen time and time again Elkis over the last 4 years saving a lot of throwing errors. This one popped up. Dopp may have a play on this one as he comes closer to the screen, and he makes the catch, and nice job by Dopp. Stayed with it, gets the out. There's 2 away. Well, you got to battle right against the backstop. There's only, we talked about this before, maybe 25 feet between home plate and the backstop area. Here's Dalton Boucher. So you don't have a whole lot of time to get rid of your mask and then locate the baseball, and then again you have to navigate your way with very little room to work. That pitch is outside for a ball. Boucher singled and scored in the second, struck out looking in the third. So this will be his third look now at Gorman. Here's the pitch, and flowing inside, 2-0. Generally, hitters will tell you about the third time around, you really have gotten a pretty good look at the pitcher. Boucher will take that one for a strike. Nowadays, the way that pitching is so specialized, the pitcher sometimes goes 6 innings. That's about it, as Boucher fouls that one away. The benefit then would go to the bullpen, simply from the standpoint as you may not have seen the pitcher coming out of the bullpen. And at this level, unless you've seen these guys for the last 2 to 3 years, there's probably not much of a scouting report on guys like Gorman. The break-even pitch got him swinging, and Boucher has struck out for the second time, and Gorman gets a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom half of inning number 5. Wittenberg on top of this one on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, 3-2.
We'd like you to know why public power is important to you. In small towns and cities across America, locally owned public power systems like ours represent local people working together to meet local needs. Our only purpose is to provide an essential service at the lowest possible cost. This makes a big difference in rates and service, and all the benefits we produce at home stay at home. Richmond Power and Light, your locally owned electric utility. Together, we make powerful partners. It takes a lot of pieces working together to run a successful business in today's world. One big piece is your connectivity, powered by your internet. For local businesses in Richmond, you have options for who provides your internet. When deciding who to go with, you need to look at Parallax Systems, fiber optic packaging for your benefit. Speed, reliability, and local service, you get it all with Parallax Systems, a division of RP&L. Visit online at parallax.ws or call 962-3770.
We'll see if the Quakers can get something going offensively. They scored 2 runs back in the first inning, and that has been it. Here's Nate Lynch. Lynch 0 for 1. Did walk back in the second inning. This will be his first look at Beagle. And the pitch on the way is low and outside for a ball. Lynch, Laird, and Elkis as we go 2, 3, and 4. 1-0 pitch is inside. 2 balls, no strikes. And here's where you can get it started. Lynch again, 12 stolen bases. Lynch had a great series against Wilmington, as that pitch is a little bit outside, 3-0. Lynch now 12 of 16 in the stolen base department, as the pitch laid right in there for a strike. And as you would expect, Lynch taking all the way, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch is a little bit high for ball 4, and so the Quakers have a man on here in the 5th inning. First walk given up now by Beagle, and here's Brennan Laird.
Now batting the shortstop, number 17, Brennan Laird.
Brennan walked and scored, stole a base back in the first inning, and then grounded out in the second as they'll throw to first, and Beagle will potentially be very busy right here with Nate Lynch at first base. And watch and see if the Quakers may hit and run here as well. Runner takes off. The pitch is out of the strike zone, and a stolen base by Lynch, and he continues his streak of stolen bases. Quakers get their second stolen base of the afternoon. And now the Wittenberg bullpen getting active once again. 1-0 to Laird. Earlham now with the tying run at second base. And Beagle works into the stretch. He'll check the runner. Here's the pitch. Hit foul. Good cut by Brennan Laird. Laird, a part of that Richmond Jazz Summer League baseball team last year, ended up making the All-Star team. Ian Boucher, the right fielder for Wittenberg teammates on that squad. Here's the stretch, and the pitch on the way, and a good breaking ball in there for a strike. Time will be called as Probst will come over and say something to Beagle. You know, about Laird, you know, the one thing, he puts up some big numbers, but you've got so many other guys around him so far this year. He, too, gets a little bit overshadowed. Like we mentioned, Kendall Baker coming in hitting at .360, and you barely notice. But Laird right in the middle of this lineup, the number 3 hitter. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch, a breaking ball hit down the line, and that will go foul. So Laird able to give that one a ride. Laird can hit with some power. We have seen him do that during his career. This young man right here loves to get those extra base hits. That pitch a little bit outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, for Nate Lynch, 53rd career stolen base just moments ago. He's only 10 away from tying the lead. Sit back in the early 60s, or should say late 60s, early 70s. Time will be called. The way Lynch is going right now, he might get that by the weekend. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The stretch again by Beagle. And the pitch on the way is hit well into left field. This could be trouble. Going back on it. This one off the fence. Baker unable to run it down. Scoring from first base, or should say second base, is Lynch. And Laird with a stand-up RBI double. And Earlham has now tied this ball game at 3 apiece. And that one didn't miss from going over the monster by much.
First baseman, number 19, Eric Elkins.
Here's Elkis. So the walk and the stolen base coming back to get Beagle. Elkis 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Laird with the RBI. He now has 14 on the season, and that pitch low and outside, 1-0. It is a prime example of the way the Quakers, if they can get things going at the top of that order, they're going to score runs. The pitch on the way is low for ball 2. And with Lynch and the stolen base, it puts them in prime position. And again, the pitcher concentrating so much on the base runner. You lay one out over the plate, and Laird made him pay for it. Beagle again will check the runner at second. Here's the stretch and the pitch grounded toward the right side. Kaplan will field and throw. He'll get the out at first as Laird will advance on to third. So Elkis able to get the runner over, and that'll bring up Danny Dopp.
With 1 out, now batting the catcher, number 7, Danny Dopp.
Dopp singled in the first inning, walked in the third. And the Quakers right here, chance to take the lead as this one is popped up and goes out of play. No balls and a strike now to Dopp. Laird right now representing the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They'll be in on the right side. Here's the pitch. Check swing foul. So now Dopp behind, no balls and 2 strikes. By the way, that Laird double, the first extra base hit for the Quakers today. The infield is in as this one is hit toward right field. That's going to be a base hit, and the Quakers now lead this one 4-3. Dopp picking up his second RBI of the ball game. And Earlham with the 2 runs
Now
have battled back.
Hitter, number 5,
And now
Cody
take a
Krumloff.
1-run lead. Here's Krumloff. Time will be called. We'll have a visit to the mound. Remind you that today's broadcast is being brought to you in part by your Richmond area Subway. Each day of the week you can get a different 6-inch sub with no artificial flavors or colors. Just $3.50. It's Wednesday. You can get the turkey breast. Thursday, the Italian BMT. And then Friday, the tuna. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway. Eat fresh. Well, the meeting is over. There is currently no one throwing into the Wittenberg bullpen. Krumloff 1 for 2. He did single back in the first inning, and he drove in a run. Dopp on base for the 3rd time. The pitch on the way is low for a ball. Beagle this time taking a little longer to get the sign from Mays. The pitch on the way. This one's ripped down the line. That'll be a fair ball. Dopp will round second. He's on his way to third. And Baker runs that baseball down in the corner, and that'll be a double by Krumloff, his second base hit. And now Earlham with runners at second and third, and still just 1 out here in the 5th inning. And here's Isaiah Shake.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 33, Isaiah Shake.
And now the bullpen getting active once again for the Tigers. Shake is 0 for 2. He struck at his last time up, looking in the 3rd inning. Throw back to second in a close play as Krumloff back in time. Four 3 Quakers. Dopp at third, Krumloff at second, and Beagle in trouble as again a right-hander throwing in the Tiger bullpen. And this is going to be grounded toward the shortstop, Probst. His throw to first is in time, but the Quakers score another run. Isaiah Shake will get credit for the RBI as Krumloff will stop at third. And Earlham on top of this one now 5-3.
Now batting, the second baseman,
here's
number
Robertson.
31, Addison Robertson.
Earlham again with 3 runs across. Robertson 0 for 2. And this one is going to be lifted into left field. That's a base hit. So Robertson will drive in a run. And Earlham now leading this one 6-3. So Robertson will make a contribution with a base hit and an RBI.
The right fielder, number 1, Kendall Baker.
And here's Kendall Baker. Baker's 0 for 2, a strikeout victim in the 4th inning. Beagle struggling here in the 5th. Here's the pitch, bunt laid down. Could be trouble. Beagle off the mound. Throw to first, and they say that he got him, but it looked like he was wide. They will ask for help, I believe. Steve Sackisit's coming out. It looked like he pulled his foot at first base. And before we take a break, let's see if that's going to be the case. Will they ask for help? They will. There you see the field umpire. The Tigers have already made their way off the field. And Coach Sack is right there to the right of your screen waiting for an answer. So the appeal, and they will say that the base runner not only got there in time, but again, the throw was off the mark and everybody is safe. So now the Quakers will go to the top of the order with runners at first and second. And Nate Barger will step up. So that'll be an error on Beagle. And the inning will continue now for the leadoff hitter, Nate Barger. This
Now
will be the
batting,
ninth
third
hitter of the
baseman,
inning.
Number 20, Matt Barger.
Barger 1 for 3. Robertson at third. Baker is at first base. And Beagle thought he was out of the inning. The stretch by the right-hander, and the pitch is on the way, and a breaking ball low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. See if the Quakers can add to the 4 runs they've already scored here in the 5th. The stretch and the pitch on the way, hit foul, and a good cut that time by Barger. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. This would be big right here if the Quakers can get at least 1 more. The stretch by Beagle. The pitch, runner at first takes off. The pitch in there for a strike. They'll throw to third and try to get Robertson off guard down at third base. So now the Quakers have runners at second and third. And 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Barger. This time Beagle will work from the windup. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A long time, Beagle looking into Mays. Beagle now gets the sign. Here's the leg kick and the pitch, and he bounces that one. That's going to score a run. Head first slide there by Robertson, and the Quakers get another run. Their 5th of the inning, and now lead this one 7-3. And as you would guess, there is the wild pitch charged to the right-hander Beagle, and he is really struggling here in the 5th. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch on the way, and it's hit foul. Another good cut that time by Barger. Well, a typical inning for Earlham here at home. 5 runs in the inning. The break-even pitch once again, and this time he'll get him. Barger swings and misses, and that'll do it for the Quakers in a very productive 5th inning. They will score 5 runs. We will head to inning number 6 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Earlham 7, Wittenberg 3. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you're born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Summit Computers in Richmond is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware, service, support, and design services. They also provide web hosting, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and much, much more. Summit Computers, the official provider of RadioTroy.com.
Well, now the right-hander, Kyle Gorman, has a little bit of breathing room with a 7-3 lead. By the way, Eric Elkis, 103 RBI, 9 from tying the record. Of course, Ted Williams played here for the Quakers from 2011 to 2014. So Elkis close to breaking a record. The 20 home runs.
Leading off the top of the
now
6th,
5
the
from tying Ted Williams for the record at 25. So Elkis very close to a couple of records. Mitch Blankenspore, the sports information director, giving us the information. Ground ball toward the shortstop. Laird, his throw to first is high, and that'll be an error this time, I do believe, as Bates will be safe at first. So there's one on, and that'll bring up Fasano.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 34, Aaron Fasano.
Fasano walked in the second, grounded out in the fourth inning. The stretch by Gorman in the pitch is low and outside, 1-0. Bates with the lead at first. The breaking pitch in there for a strike. And if you're Gorman right now, I think the big thing is just work on Fasano. You have a 4-run lead. This is not a big running team. Go after the hitter. This one will be chopped third base side. Barger charging and throwing a low throw, not in time, and that'll be a base hit. So Fasano with the base hit. Runners now at first and second. Well, that certainly just unfortunate. Barger wasn't playing all that deep, but that ball not hit hard at all. Here is Probst. Dalton Carter still throwing in the Earlham bullpen. I would imagine from the coaching standpoint, they'd like to see if Gorman can work himself out of trouble again here in the sixth inning without jeopardizing the 4-run lead. Probst 2 for 2, and now a visit to the mound as Gorman, the right-hander. Of course, this might be just a little more time to give Dalton Carter, but I think he's ready to go. Carter's already stopped throwing, and they will go to the bullpen. So we have a pitching change. Gorman done for the day. We'll tell you about Dalton Carter coming up in just a couple of moments. Stay right there. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
5 innings of work, and Gorman is done for the day, and that'll be Dalton Carter. And Carter, needless to say, has struggled early. Dalton will be making his 4th appearance. He's only thrown 2 innings, giving up 7 hits. 8 runs, all of those runs were earned. No strikeouts and 3 walks. He's 0-1 and an ERA of 36. The one advantage right now that Dalton has, he has a 4-run cushion to work with, though there are 2 runners on base here for the Tigers. Probst, we mentioned moments ago, 2 for 2 this afternoon. Singled back in the second inning, picked up a base hit in the 4th. And anything that we've learned about this ballpark over the last 3 years that it has been open is that there is no lead that is safe here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium. So here we go. Once again, runners at first and second. Carter set to throw as he looks in to dot the stretch. And the pitch on the way, and the pitch is outside as Probst will show bunt. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. You're in a situation now, and Coach Sack will talk about this. You have a veteran who has not thrown a ton of innings in his career, in Dalton Carter. They want to have confidence in the senior. The pitch on the way, and it's up high for a ball. Carter out of Brownsburg, Indiana. 2 balls and no strikes now to Probst, the number 8 hitter. Elkus coming in at first. The pitch on the way. That's when it caught the outside corner for a strike. And the count out 2-1. Still no outs here in the top half of the 6th inning. Tigers trying to rally now as they trail it 7-3. Here's the pitch by Carter, and a breaking ball caught the inside corner for a strike, and it's even at 2-2. Home plate umpire now coming out from behind the plate, and I'm not sure if Carter is now saying something, but now he's going to get a visit. So I'm not sure if he is now hurting a little bit. He kind of was at the point where he was shaking off the trainer, but now the trainer's coming out. And let's see if Carter's okay. We saw earlier the starting pitcher for Wittenberg, Jonathan Forster, have a little bit of problem with his throwing hand, but it didn't appear anything on that last delivery. Of course, a very cold day here. You got to be awful careful on a day like today. And it looks like Carter's going to be all right. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and he'll look the runner back. No one making an advancement from Robertson or Laird. Carter gets the sign from Dopp. Here's the pitch, and he reaches out and pokes this one foul to the right side as Probst. Good job battling there at the plate, making sure that anything close, he'll try to live for another day. One ball, 2 strikes. Runners again at first and second. And Carter again a long look. Now these two guys haven't worked together a whole lot, Carter and Dopp. Dopp a freshman, Carter a senior. The stretch. Jack the runner second. And the pitch on the way to the plate hit foul again. We'll stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Take that back. 1 ball and 2 strikes again to Probst with 2 runners on base. Carter now with the sign and the pitch, and it's low for a ball. Nowhere to put this guy as Probst. Opportunity to get on base once again, and this will be his 3rd time of the afternoon. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch on the way, and that's going to be outside. Now, it was 2-2. I thought it was 3-2, so I was right the first time. So that'll be a walk. Bases are loaded. And here's Bargy.
At bat number 5, Chase Bargy.
Still no outs here in the 6th inning. Earlham not making it easy on themselves right here as Bargy singled his last time up. And now with a left-handed hitter at the plate. Here's the pitch, and this one swung on, hit foul. Another good cut as Bargy able to swing and get a good look at that first pitch by the right-hander Carter. Bates at third, Fasano at second, Probst at first. Right-hander now throwing in the Earlham bullpen as that pitch high and outside. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers right now trying to answer the call of giving up 5 runs in the last half inning. Grounded to the right side, diving the first baseman Elkis. Robertson coming over. He is safe at first, and a run will score. Good effort by the first baseman Elkis, unable to get to it. Bases will stay loaded. And here's Baker, the top of the order now for the Tigers.
And bat the left fielder, number 7, Matt Baker.
Baker right now is 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Swings at this one, popped up to the right side, and that will go out of play. Earlham on top of this one, 7-4, but a huge threat right now here in the 6th inning. The pitch on the way is a breaking ball. That'll be popped foul to the right. And now Dalton on top of Baker. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Chopped at the plate. That'll be a foul ball. Talk about big moments in a game. This would be big right here for Dalton Carter to get out. Here is the 0-2 pitch, grounded to the right side. Elkis will flip on to the second baseman. Robertson dropped it. 2 runs will score. Bargy advancing on to third. And still no outs in the inning. And that'll bring up Kaplan. Looks like we will have a change now. The Quakers will go back to their bullpen. We'll take a timeout. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Earlham holding on to a 7-6 lead as we play here in the 6th inning.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto and business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf and I approve this message.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give them a call at 966-0994.
Hey, Chuck, where you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for, like, the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
Well, the Quakers back to their bullpen once again. We will see Spencer Owen, a freshman right-hander out of Bargersville, Indiana. Owen making just his second appearance. 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, no earned runs, a strikeout, no walks, no record, and no ERA. As Kaplan steps to the plate with runners at first and third, still no outs here in this 6th inning. The stretch once again in the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Kaplan singled in the first, singled in the third, grounded into a double play in the fourth inning. Bargy at third, Baker at first. The stretch by Owen in the pitch, grounded. Owen gets it on the high hop, low throw to second base. The relay to first in time, and another double play, but a run will score. That is a 1-6-3 double play. That is, again, the third double play for the Quakers this afternoon, but the tying run comes across the plate. And now 2 away for Malott. And Owen's pitch hit foul.
How about number 11, Brad Malott?
So 4 runs in the inning. The Tigers coming back to make this a 7-all ball game. Owen gets the sign from Dopp, and the pitch on the way is grounded to the right side and foul. Earlham has another right-hander throwing in their bullpen, Austin Green out of Brownstown. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way, jams him, grounded to Barger, takes it on the high hop, the high throw to first in time, and that'll do it for the Tigers in the 6th inning, but they'll pick up 4 runs. We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 6. We're tied at 7 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time, which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Are new cabinets on your wish list? Visit the new Georgia Direct showroom and see the great variety of cabinets on display in a modern setting. Georgia Direct carries quality craft-made one cabinets, and the new showroom has plenty of styles and colors on display. In Richmond, craft-made one is only available at Georgia Direct, where the designers are always on hand to help create a custom kitchen for your home. Visit Georgia Direct's new showroom on 40 East, next to Red Lobster. You'll love what you see, and you'll love the savings at Georgia Direct.
There is one thing for sure in my life. I know nothing about fixing cars. That's why I take my vehicles to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main in Richmond. Their experts have the knowledge to service and repair even the most challenging auto problems. So if you have an automotive question, they have the answers at Beach Automotive, 110 East Main in Richmond. Or give them a call at 765-966-8181 or visit their website, beach-auto.com.
Maybe you haven't heard, but there's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show Cheers. You know, where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some of your friends and try out a game of live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else are you going to find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
New pitcher now for the Tigers, as they have brought in Andrew Goodpaster, a junior out of Carlisle, Ohio. He is a right-hander. Goodpaster making his 5th appearance, 6 innings, giving up 10 hits, 8 runs, 4 of those earned. 1 strikeout and 3 walks. He is 0-2 this season with an ERA of 6. Chance to be the pitcher of record here as the Tigers coming back to tie this ball game. Nate Lynch will lead things off for the Quakers here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Of the 6th, the center fielder, number 2, Nate Lynch.
Lynch has walked twice, stolen base, a run scored. He was officially 0 for 1. As we now get later into the evening hours. Game about just over 2 hours and 15 minutes as that pitch is low for a ball. Lynch, Laird, and Elkis Goodpaster with the high leg kick and the pitch, and he misses outside, 2-0. After today, again, the Quakers 3 on the road at Rose. They'll be back here March 28th against Bluffton. That's a 4:15 start time. That pitch in there for a strike. Bluffton for the 1, then they'll bring Franklin in for 3. Bluffton back in for 1 more April 4th. The 2-1 pitch on the way is hit back up the middle. The shortstop Probst will throw to first, 1 away. Here's Brendan Laird.
Now batting the shortstop, number 17, Brendan Laird.
Laird doubled in the 5th inning. He has scored twice. Now 1 for 2 and a run driven in. Goodpaster, now time called as he will step off the pitching rubber, re-get the signs here from Mays, and now the pitch on the way, and it's low and inside for a ball. Earlham 2 runs in the 1st inning, 5 in the 5th. Wittenberg 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, and 4 more in the 6th inning. This one lifted high and foul. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hit foul again. Almost the same location. You look at the scores that we have had here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium. There were 31 combined runs against Olivet, 34 against Heidelberg, only 10 in the Wilmington game, 11 in the second contest, 10 in the third. We've had double digits and more in every game as that pitch comes inside. Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Goodpaster will shake off the sign from Mays, and time will be called. Well, Goodpaster's numbers, again, he probably hasn't worked a whole lot with Mays, and here is the break-even pitch, and a curveball in there for a strike. And Laird struck out, looking for out number 2. And here's
with 2 outs, now batting for first baseman number 19, Eric Elkins.
Elkins 0 for 2 of the runs scored. And Goodpaster's first pitch to Elkins on the way is a fastball in there for a called strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball stays up high. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander set to throw, and the pitch on the way hit well into left field. This one is off the screen. Elk is heading to second base. Here's the relay throw, and a very close play at second, and that will be a double by Elkins. Well, that one hit off
the plate, the catcher, number 7, Danny
left field
Duck.
high off the fence. If that fence is not there, Elkins has another home run. So now the Quakers have the go-ahead run down at second base. Here's Danny Dopp. Dopp has singled twice. He has scored a run. As Goodpaster into the stretch and the pitch, it's in there for a strike. 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Time will be called once again as Goodpaster really doesn't need to worry too much about Elkis down at second base. For some reason, taking a long look back there. The stretch once again by Goodpaster, and the pitch on the way and low and outside. And boy, how many times do we talk about pitchers that so concerned about some base runners? If you do your homework on Elkis, this young man's certainly not a stolen base threat overall. And I doubt very much with your ball game tied at 7 apiece, he's going to even make an attempt to try to steal third. But Goodpaster really focused at second base, and now he misses again. 2 balls and a strike. Now to Dopp. Elkis at second with a 2-out double. Off the Earlham monster in left field as Goodpaster into the stretch and the pitch, and is low for ball 3. Three balls and 1 strike. Cody Krumloff on deck. Of course, he picked up a base hit his last time up. He has a couple of hits. Here's your 3-1 pitch on the way, and it's in there for a strike. Should be 3-2 right there. That's not the third strike. Home plate umpire had rung him up. Now he apologizes to Dopp. So now it's 3-2. Dopp kind of looked back at the umpire. Wait a minute. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's a good pitch that time by Goodpaster. Pale pitch on the way, and it's low and outside. Goodpaster thought he had the strikeout. So now the Quakers runners at first and second.
Now batting for DH,
here's
number
Krumloff.
5, Cody Krumloff.
Mentioned Cody has a couple of base hits this afternoon. Part of that 5-run 5th inning. Goodpaster trying to get out of trouble here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and there's a breaking pitch in there for a strike. Krumloff, 2 singles as he is DHing here this afternoon. Elkis a lead at second. We mentioned one other change. We talked about Goodpaster, but also a new third baseman. Throw to first, and boy, I tell you what, there's an argument to be had right there as Bates laid on the tag, and I think they got Dopp. And now the coach for Wittenberg coming out, and he wants to ask, and that's a tough call for the field umpire as far away as he is from first base to get a good look at that. Because I think the throw beat Dopp, and the Quakers may have gotten a break right there. That's just too far to see. You're probably 85, close to 90 feet away from that. The play's going away from you, and this will be the second time we have seen an appeal to the home plate umpire. And if he sees it correctly, and they go ahead and call him safe anyway. I think that Dopp was out at first, so we'll see if the Quakers can take advantage of a break here in the 6th inning. We mentioned Krumloff DHing here today in this one as they get ready for the conference opener on the road at Rolls-Holman this weekend. The stretch by Goodpaster. And a check of the runner at second base. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's high and inside for a ball. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. But again, 2 outs in the inning. Hear a lot of chatter on both sides as Goodpaster set to throw in a breaking ball and is foul tipped and held on by Mays. And we'll go to 1-2. Quakers trying to keep the momentum going into this weekend. If they win tonight, it'll be their 5th win in a row. Goodpaster once again comes set. And the pitch on the way comes inside. I think it may have glanced him, and it did. So now Earlham with the bases loaded. And here's Isaiah Shake.
Stepping up to the plate with bases loaded, the left fielder, number 33, Isaiah Shake.
Well, Isaiah's 0 for 3 today. Shake came into this ball game hitting at .481. Let's see if he can deliver right here. No one throwing in the Wittenberg bullpen. Quakers bullpen quiet as well. The stretch by Goodpaster. The pitch on the way, right down the middle for a strike. Shake reaching on a fielder's choice in the first. He struck out looking in the third, grounded out in the 5th inning. Chance to give the Quakers the lead here in the 6th. Goodpaster gets the sign from Mays. The stretch and the pitch on the way is a breaking ball right across the plate. And now the freshman behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Shake out of Bloomington. By the way, speaking of Bloomington, they'll be hosting the Big Ten baseball tournament this year down in Bloomington. That'll be a huge 4 to 5 day event. The stretch again by Goodpaster. And the pitch on the way, lifted toward right field, going back on a Boucher. He'll reach up and make the catch, and Earlham will leave the bases loaded here in the 6th inning. We head to the 7th on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. We're tied at 7. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The dealership where I bought my car told me I needed new tires. So, of course, I stopped by Best One and asked Roger to take a look. So they checked it out, and he told me not yet. He said I was good for at least another 10,000 miles. I've always gotten an honest opinion at Best One, and so will you.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark at Best One Tire and Service. We'll only sell you tires when you need new tires, and they'll be the right tires for your car or truck. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all hand-picked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at Tony'sCarSales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars.
Earlhamites, you don't need to be on the heart to feel close to it. Your Earlham Alumni Council is here to help all of our alumni stay connected, to support students, and to ensure that Earlham is strong for years to come.
We head to the 7th. It'll be Mays, Boucher, and Bates all scheduled. Spencer Owen back in once again is
number 25,
Mays.
Adam Mays.
0 for 2 with a walk. Now, we mentioned a little bit ago that we have learned a long time ago that no lead is safe in this ballpark, and that has proven to be the case here. Late swing by Mays. He did get a piece of it, but he falls behind at 0-1. We've seen way too many games here at this ballpark get out of hand. Ground ball toward the third baseman, Barger. Low throw and unable to dig that one out is Elkis at first, and that'll be an error on the third baseman, Barger. Now, Barger's not naturally a third baseman.
Now batting number 22, Dalton Boucher.
Here's Boucher. Saw an earlier error, and the shortstop Laird, and it almost seemed like that time Barger took something off the throw instead of just firing it across the diamond. But again, in his defense, he is not a natural third baseman. Boucher steps in, and Owens' pitch in there for a strike. Boucher has struck out twice. Singled his first time up, scored one of those 2 runs back in the second inning. Owen again into the stretch, and the pitch on the way is a breaking ball outside. And we're even to the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. If you're Steve Sakasitz at this point, we talked about the amount of freshmen in this pitching staff from a bullpen standpoint. Ground ball back up middle, Laird to Robertson. He'll turn and make the throw to first, not in time. They'll get the force of Mays. Boucher safe at first on the fielder's choice, and that'll bring up Bates.
With 1 out, now batting number 6.
Talk about throwing all these freshmen. He's got to find out what they can do in non-conference play and not throw them into the fire when they start conference action this weekend. Because after today, unless they reschedule those Oberlin games, runner takes off. That one is fouled off by Bates. We have not heard of any makeup dates for Oberlin, if they'll make those games up at all, but I would imagine they're going to try. But you go back through the conference now, they only have 2 non-conference games after this, and that'll be Wittenberg and Wabash. And the Wabash game will be on the road, as will the Wittenberg game. Mark them down for April 19th and April 26th. Everything else right now will be a conference matchup. They'll check out Dopp to see if he's okay. Where you would put a couple of games at this stage, I'm not sure, but I'm sure Coach Sack would love to squeeze them in just to give these freshman pitchers more of a chance to work. The stretch by Owen, and the pitch came inside and missed. Count is even to 1 ball and 1 strike. You have Owen, Jordan Christian, Green, Greavy, Gorman, all freshmen that have thrown already this year. Time will be called at the plate now by Bates. Couple of players we haven't seen yet, or at least a lot of, as the throw goes to first. If you look up and down that roster, and again, there are a ton of freshmen on this baseball team this year. There are several of those guys haven't seen much playing time yet, but will. This one hit hard toward the third baseman, Barger, able to knock it down. He'll throw to first after looking at second base. So Boucher at second. Nice play that time by Barger for out number 2, and here's Fasano.
Now batting number 34, Aaron Fasano.
Fasano singled and scored one of the 4 runs in the 6th inning. And Boucher again representing the go-ahead run at second base. As Owen will look the runner back. Tied at 7 as we play here in the 7th. Owen will get the sign again from Dopp. And the pitch on the way is a good breaking ball. Fasano way out in front. Owen gets the sign from Dopp. And the pitch on the way, and that one off the glove of Dopp, able to run it down in time. No advancement by Boucher, and I'm not so sure that Dopp wasn't crossed up that time. And the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Another pitcher freshman we haven't seen a whole lot is Austin Smith. In fact, he's only thrown 1 inning so far. There's a couple of other guys that are unable to throw because of various injuries early in the year. We may see them, if they're healthy, relatively soon. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and it misses inside. Owen thought he had strike number 2. Boucher loved to score his second run of the ball game as he gets a good lead at second base. The stretch again by Owen. He'll check the runner. Laird sneaks behind the throw back to second, not in time. Another right-hander throwing now for Earlham. Austin Green, he's another freshman. The pitch on the way, popped him up to the right side. And Elkis will give that one a look. It'll go out of play. Two balls and 2 strikes once again to Fasano. Owen once again will get the sign from Dopp. He'll check the runner at second. Comes home with a pitch. This is a line drive base hit into left field. Rounding third will be Boucher. They'll wave him in, and the ball gets away in the infield. And advancing to second is Fasano. That was not played well defensively by the Quakers. But Fasano driving in the go-ahead run with a base hit. And then will advance on an error. And Earlham behind 8-7, and here's Probst.
Ryan Probst.
Earlham now committing their 3rd error of the ball game. Probst so far a base hit in the 2nd, a base hit in the 4th. Time is called. He has also scored a couple of runs after he walked in the 6th inning. Owen again into the stretch. And the pitch on the way is in there for a strike. Dopp again out to talk to Owen. And here's another situation where these two have not worked a whole lot together. No matter how much you can scrimmage, and the Earlham baseball team does a lot of on-field work throughout the entire week in game situations. If you haven't worked together as a pitcher and catcher, it can be awful tough to do it when the game rolls around. As Owen again works into the stretch, we'll check the runner at second. Here's the pitch on the way, and he missed outside. He's got some pretty good pop on his fastball. It's a matter of location right at the moment. 1 ball and 1 strike to Probst. The break-even pitch on the way, low and outside. Wittenberg's numbers will go up. They came in with a very low slugging percentage, a very low on-base percentage. We mentioned they only had stolen 7 bases. That number won't go anywhere. That pitch is up high. Just a .255 team batting average coming in. But again, the top of the order hasn't done the job today. It's been the bottom of the order. From Boucher at number 5 all the way down to Bargy in the number 9 hole, and this one is swung on, hit foul, an inside-out swing that time by Probst. And the count now 3-2. Baker has a hit at the top of the order. Kaplan has a couple of base hits. A lot out of the ball game. He went 0 for today. And then Mays at number 4, 0 for 3. And the pitch missing inside, another fastball. That'll be the second time that Probst has walked. And this will be
Jace Bargy.
Bargy, just a sophomore. Bargy, a couple of base hits in the number 9 hole. All of their runs have come from number 5 through number 9. The stretch by Owen. Here's the pitch. It's up high, and this young man struggling here in this 7th inning. Fasano with a lead at second base. Probst at first. The pitch on the way. This is an inside-out swing. Base hit into left field. And rounding third, heading to the plate. It'll be cut off as Fasano will score from second. And Wittenberg now leads this one 9-7. Bargy with his third base hit of the ball game. And we'll move to the top of the order in Baker. And Baker 1 for 4, but now his runners at first and second. And again, 2 away here in the 7th inning. The stretch by Owen, and the pitch is low for a ball. So now Wittenberg has scored 6 runs over the last 2 innings to take now a 9-7 lead. And again looking the runner back. No movement from either Laird or Robertson. Earlham's ERA coming into this one here today was at 6.91. And that pitch inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Of course, we have seen this already as we get later and later into the evening. We'll see those shadows start to make their way across the diamond. The stretch and the 2-0 pitch in there for a called strike. And, of course, with a night like tonight, we mentioned the temperatures when we started. We were in the 30s when we started. Ground ball right side. This should do it. Robertson, a throw to first, though not a strong throw, and that's going to do it here in the 7th inning. But Wittenberg comes up with a couple of more runs. We will head to the bottom of the 7th on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Wittenberg 9, Earlham 7. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank. A bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey, alumni! Wondering how you can stay connected to Earlham? The Alumni Office is here to make the connection last by organizing events in your area, representing alumni voices on campus, and helping you get connected to resources across our
leading off for the Quakers, the second baseman, number 31, Addison
battle their way
Robertson.
back once again here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Robertson, Baker, and Barger. Good pastor. The right-hander back in once again. He got out of a bases-loaded jam in that sixth inning. And the right-hander's first pitch on the way as Robertson showing bunt. And the pitch is low for a ball. Here's the wind and the 1-0 pitch. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. Good passer, a chance to pick up the win here tonight for the Tigers. Here's your 1-1 pitch, and it's low and outside. Robertson 1 for 3. Picked up a base hit in the fifth inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Right back off the leg of Goodpaster, and that's going to be an infield base hit as Probst unable to get to the baseball in time, so Robertson will pick up his second base hit. And now Mays will go out and make sure that Goodpaster is okay. And now we have to have a conference just to make sure that Goodpaster's all right. He is pointing to where the ball hit him off. It looks like the backside of his left leg, and he says he's all right. They'll give him a chance to throw a pitch or two just to make sure. There is a left-hander now beginning to warm up in the Wittenberg bullpen. And he's ready to go as Baker will step to the plate. Kendall 0 for 3. He was a part of that 5-run fifth inning. Baker steps to the plate as Goodpaster okay after a couple of warm-up tosses, and we're ready to go. Robertson with the lead down at first. The stretch. And the pitch, he'll show bunt, lays it down in front of the home plate area. Goodpaster coming off and throws it wide, and that will go into the foul area down the right field line, and another nice bunt that time by Kendall Baker. That'll be a hit and an error for Baker as
now
Robertson advancing
20,
all the way to
Matt
third.
Barger.
So now the Quakers have runners at first and third. And here's Matt Barger. So Barger a chance now here for the Quakers in the bottom of the seventh inning. And boy, keep an eye on Baker down at first. He will run. The stretch by Goodpaster. And here's the pitch. Barger showing bunt. The pitch is low. Catcher Mays able to knock that one down. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Earlham having to rally here tonight once again. Robertson at third, Baker at first. Goodpaster again will check both runners. The pitch on the way, and it's outside for a ball. And now we'll see the catcher Mays go out and talk with Goodpaster once again. This again a opportunity for the bullpen for Wittenberg to continue to get ready. Mentioned there's a left-hander, and guy hasn't taken off his sweatshirt yet. Once he does, we'll find out who the pitcher is in their bullpen. There is still a right-hander throwing for the Quakers. The 2-0 pitch. popped him up. Should be an easy play for the first baseman as Bates will come over and squeeze that one. And that's a big outing. They get Barger, the leadoff hitter. So with one away, here's Nate Lynch.
Now batting the center fielder, number 2, Nate Lynch.
Looked like a pitch that just came in on the hands of Barger. And so Nate will step to the plate. Lynch is 0 for 2 with a couple of walks and a run scored. He also has a stolen base to his credit in this one here today. So now Earlham with one away, and the throw will go to third. Wittenberg on top of this one, 9-7. Quakers may look back at that 6th inning. Got the bases loaded and unable to score a run. If they end up losing this one, that could be one key factor. Here's the pitch on the way, grounded toward the second baseman, Kaplan. He'll lay on the tag. He will not get the throw to first. The run will score as Robertson crosses the plate. And Earlham is pulled in to within 1 at 9-8. Lynch will reach on a fielder's choice. Again, Baker.
Now batting the shortstop, number 17,
number 2, and here's Brennan Laird. So Earlham able to get one back. Laird doubled back in the 5th inning, part of that 5-run 5th. He has scored twice, has a stolen base to his credit as well, and he'll take that first pitch inside for a ball. Go to first once again by Goodpaster. We very well may see the new pitcher Austin Green for the Quakers in the next half inning. Runner first will take off. The pitch in there for a strike. The throw down and knocked down by Kaplan, the second baseman, is a collision as Lynch went in sliding head first, and I think he may have caught a knee to the head, but looks like he might be okay. And now we'll see Coach Sack go out and check him out. And now for Coach Sackasitz, he is saying something to the field umpire. And I think it was, again, Lynch may have caught a knee to the head, but looks like he's going to be all right. So he will get his second stolen base. And the count is even at 1-1 now to Brennan Laird.
Go, Brennan. Bring him in, Brennan.
Well, now the Quakers have the tying run down at second base. Well, tonight a combined 17 runs. That's the most we've had since the Heidelberg game, in which we had 34. The way this one is going, we may match that one by the time it's all said and done. As Goodpaster into the stretch, and the pitch popped him up to the right side. First baseman Bates gives it a look, and that too will go out of play. So Brennan behind in the count of 1-2. Lynch with a good lead down at second base. Goodpaster into the stretch. And the pitch. Ground ball, left side. Backhanded by Probst. Long throw to first in time. And a big out as Probst showing the strength of his arm. He will get the out at first base. Quakers get one. We will head to the 8th inning. Wittenberg On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard on top of this one,
Quaker scored
9-8.
1 run off.
Last time I was in for service at Best One, I let Roger know my brakes were squeaking. So they checked them out, and Roger told me it was just a little moisture. Not to worry, everything was fine. Well, that was just the reassurance I needed. I trust the team at Best One, just like I trust my own dad.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark. At Best One Tire and Service, we only fix what needs to be fixed. When your car or truck leaves our shop, the service you request will be done right. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond. Injured athletes can be evaluated at Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond. Request a same-day or next-day appointment to be evaluated by medical professionals who specialize in strains, sprains, fractures, knee and shoulder injuries, concussions, and other sports-related orthopedic issues. Call 935-8905. That's 935-8905. Or request an appointment online at reedortho.org. Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond.
Well, we mentioned the Quakers had a right-hander throwing in their bullpen. We will see now freshman Austin Green out of Brownstown.
Taking over on the mound for your Quakers, number 6, Austin Green.
Give you some numbers on Green so far this season as he is now making his 4th appearance. 4 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Green 0-1 on the year with an ERA of 6.75.
Wide awake, insomniac, I don't do copycat, feeling black, bleeding through the gray. I'm a beat maniac, I don't.
So the Quakers going back to their bullpen yet one more time. Here in the 8th inning, it's Kaplan, Carpenter, and Mays all due up for the Tigers, holding on to a 9-8 lead. Again, the next time we're back on the air, it'll be the Bluffton matchup on March 28th. That'll be a 4:15 start time. Then we begin the 3-game series against Franklin on the 31st, April 1st. That'll be a doubleheader, noon and probably closer to 4. And then Bluffton again on to the 4th. That'll be another 4:15 start time.
Leading off the top of the 8th,
Kaplan, a couple of base hits.
Kaplan.
Quakers will now also throw Matt Mathias, the junior out of Lagodi. That pitch is low for a ball. Well, for Wittenberg to come in here and they get a win tonight, big for their ball club after they lost their last 2. Green's breaking pitch low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch out of the strike zone, 3-0. Carpenter, by the way, hitting in the number 3 hole. He is on deck as Green's next pitch right down the middle for a strike. Wittenberg with 11 base hits. Here's the pitch on the way, and taking is Kaplan. Boy, he didn't even get that bat off his shoulder, and all of a sudden it's 3-2. The payout pitch on the way. This one is off the handle, back up the middle. The shortstop makes the throw as Laird, a strong throw this time. And there's one away, and here's Carpenter. Laird, of course, started here as the center fielder.
At that number 29, Chase Carpenter.
Well, they had the injury last year at shortstop. They moved him there, and he's been there pretty much ever since. That breaking pitch, a little bit low for a ball. Of course, Laird had a chance to play not only shortstop, but a little bit of outfield last year in his summer at Richmond. He played for the Jazz in their 40-game schedule, much shorter schedule than what we see in most summer leagues. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way, and another breaking ball, and a good one. Carpenter swings and misses. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Laird will probably be the first to tell you what a valuable experience it was for him. Here's another breaking pitch, and Carpenter missing again, 1-2. Laird had a chance to face a lot of Division I pitching out of the Mid-American Conference, out of the Big Ten. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and the fastball stays up high, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carpenter. Again, he's hitting in the number 3 spot where Brad Malott was. Malott went 0 for 3. And time called now by Carpenter. The 2-2 pitch once again, chopped foul. Shot foul once again, so now Carpenter able to battle here in the 8th inning. So combined 17 runs. We've seen 21 hits. The one part has been a little bit disappointing. The 5 errors we have seen. And a swing and a miss. And Carpenter strikes out. And Green will get his first strikeout. So with 2 away, that'll bring up Adam Mays.
With 2 away, now batting number 25, Adam Mays.
Mays 0 for 3 with a walk. He's been on base twice. Did reach on an error in the 7th inning. Ground ball toward the third baseman, Barger. And we got Bach at third now, not Barger. So Bach has taken over at third, and he'll make the throw to first, and there is 3 away. We will head to the bottom half of inning number 8 on Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Wittenberg 9, Earlham 8. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
We will head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Elkis, Dopp, and Krumloff all due up. And Goodpaster back in, the right-hander. Once again for the Tigers. They still have a left-hander warming up in their bullpen. He's not taken off his sweatshirt, so we have no idea who it is. So they will keep the lefty ready to go. The Quakers have a quiet bullpen. And so here we go. Elkis will lead things off. Doubled his last time up, had that shot that went off the Earlham monster in left field. If you've never been here before, you can see there in left field how it is tiered. It is only 310 down the line, but the fence probably goes 40 feet high, and hit that one off the tarp in left field. And the first pitch by Goodpaster is swung on, hit toward the third baseman. Carpenter able to knock it down, and the throw to first, and did he hold on? Yes. Great play by Bates at first. And he made a great stretch at first base, and they will get Elkis.
With 1 out,
anyone with speed would have probably beaten that throw, but there's 1 away. Here's Dopp. Dopp has had a pretty good ball game as well. Couple of base hits, couple of walks. He's been on base all 4 times. And good pass to his first pitch is high for a ball. A heck of a play again by Bates. That may be the game saver if you look back on it, depending on what happens the rest of the way. Popped him up to the right side. Once again, Bates, this time in foul territory, and he dropped it. Popped in and out of his first baseman's glove, and that will mean another chance for Dopp. And I can't tell you how many times we have seen that happen here as well, though there is a little bit of cloudiness that has now moved in overhead, so not as bright of a sky and a clear sky as we normally see, with as much sunshine as we've had. But again, there's not a whole lot of foul territory down the lines, and I would imagine maybe Bates thought he was getting a little bit too close to the fence. So instead of 2 outs, back to the plate. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This one is going to be hit down the line in right field. Boucher will run out of room. Now Boucher and Laird both played at McBride Stadium here, the city ballpark. And there's all kinds of room in foul territory, not only down the lines but behind home plate. Have a lot more room to work with, but not here at Randall R. Sadler. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Danny Dopp. Here's the pitch, and it's up high for a ball. Game that is now over the 3-hour mark, which is nothing new. Here's the break-even pitch. Popped up foul once again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. First baseman Bates is going to get his sunglasses, and of course you can see the sun will certainly be a factor on the right side, especially for Boucher and Wright and Bates at first base. Once again, the break-even pitch on the way, and popped a foul one more time. And I don't think that Bates even knew where that ball was. He's looking around, looking for help. And also like McBride Stadium, the way that the 2 ballparks are situated, the right field of the first baseman, second baseman all have troubles there as well. The 2-2 pitch on the way is a breaking ball, and it misses high. Three balls, 2 strikes. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now there's a right-hander throwing in the Wittenberg bullpen. They have a righty and a lefty. This one hit foul. Good cut there by Dopp. Dopp, his natural position is at catcher. We have seen him play some third base. Coach Sack mentioned early in the preseason they'll mix some guys in and out of different positions. Another good cut by Dopp as he fouls it away. Dopp right now your catcher of the future when you think about Krumloff. Again, the 4 years he has put in and what a career he has had, and would love to finish this whole thing off with a HCAC title and a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. The pitch on the way comes inside and misses, and that'll be a 1-out walk. So the Quakers have a man on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And here's Cody Krumloff.
Number 5, Cody Krumloff.
Krumloff DHing here today. Chance to get some at-bats and rest those legs for this weekend. Coach had mentioned he may catch all 3 games. So now Earlham has the tying run on. The stretch by Goodpaster. And the pitch on the way, grounded foul. In the wind, you can hear it every once in a while on the crowd mic. It's not blowing as hard out in center field as it was earlier, so you get a little swirling around home plate, and it might be one of the factors for Bates when he dropped that foul ball. The 0-1 pitch on the way is a breaking ball, low and away. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike as we play here in the bottom of inning number 8. And Earlham trailing at 9-8. Good passer looking into Mays. Again, top of the lead at first. The stretch by the right-hander, and the pitch is on the way. Hit to center field, hit well. Bargy going back a few steps. He'll reach up and make the catch. And Dopp will retreat back to first, and there's 2 away. Here's Isaiah Shake.
Number 33, Isaiah Shake.
Isaiah looking for his first hit. We may have a change, though, as the head coach looking down, and we will have a pitching change. So a change now for the Tigers. We'll tell you about their new pitcher in just a moment. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hi, this is Troy Arangowski of Radio Troy Digital Sports. There are plenty of places for me to get lunch or dinner, but there's only one Mancino's. In fact, I was just there for lunch the other day and had a delicious pizza grinder. That's just one of many choices I can get at Mancino's. How about a fresh salad? Several varieties of pasta, Mancino's Lights, or perhaps even an oven-baked spaghetti, or maybe a pepperoni pizza. So when you're looking for a great lunch or dinner, make sure you choose Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond. It takes a lot of pieces working together to run a successful business in today's world. One big piece is your connectivity, powered by your internet. For local businesses in Richmond, you have options for who provides your internet. When deciding who to go with, you need to look at Parallax Systems, fiber optic packaging for your benefit. Speed, reliability, and local service, you get it all with Parallax Systems, a division of RP&L. Visit online at parallax.ws or call 962-3770. We'd like you to know why public power is important to you. In small towns and cities across America, locally owned public power systems like ours represent local people working together to meet local needs. Our only purpose is to provide an essential service at the lowest possible cost. This makes a big difference in rates and service, and all the benefits we produce at home stay at home. Richmond Power and Light, your locally owned electric utility. Together, we make powerful partners.
Well, the new pitcher for the Tigers will be Joshua Durang, a left-hander out of Tucson, Arizona.
The Tigers, number 13, Joshua Durang.
Durang making his 4th appearance, 7 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned. 6 strikeouts and 4 walks. He has no record and an ERA of 4.91. By the way, good passer, a chance to be the winning pitcher here. Isaiah Shake again will step to the plate. 0 for 4. He's been on base once. That was a fielder's choice way back in the first inning. Durang's pitch on the way. Runner takes off. Throw down to second. And the tag, if it's laid on cleanly by Kaplan, they get the out of Dopp. But Dopp will get the stolen base. The throw was there in time by Mays. No balls and a strike. Now to Shake. So now the Quakers have the tying run in position. Shake will step back. Durang will take a look at the runner at second. Here's the late kick and the pitch, and just outside. So the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Durang again will check the runner. The stretch and the pitch, and this one is hit to the right side. Coming over is Boucher, and that will be a fair ball. Dopp will score in a headfirst slide, the double by Shake, and this ball game is tied, or did they call it a foul? And Steve Sakositz is coming out, and it looked like a fair ball to me, but I think the home plate umpire again called that a foul ball. Boy, and I tell you what, there is ought to be a little discussion right there. Now, the field umpire's not going to help you at all. But they call that a foul ball. I thought that hit right inside the line, down the right field line. But the count 1-2, and that's a big call right there against the Quakers. That'll take the double away from Shake. And again, the run will not score. And now Shake down in the count at 1-2. And for head coach Steve Sakis, it's very upset with that call. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Durang, the left-hander, here in the bottom of the 8th inning, trying to hold on to a 9-8 lead. Durang once again into the stretch. He'll check the runner at second and comes home with a pitch. A swing and a miss, and that's a big strikeout of Shake. And a big call against the Quakers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Wittenberg 9, Earlham 8. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all handpicked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at tonyscarsales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars.
Hey, Chuck, where you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for, like, the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you were born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Now, Green will be back out for another inning of work for Earlham as we move to the 9th inning. Boucher, Bates, and Fasano all due up. Well, you look back again, a tough call against Earlham with the potential double by Isaiah Shake brought back. The home plate umpire said it was a foul ball. It would have scored the tying run.
Number 22, Dalton Boucher.
So now Boucher will step to the plate. Boucher has scored a couple of runs. This is his first look at Green. And the right-hander set to throw, in his first pitch is a breaking ball low and inside, 1-0. Boucher singled in the second. He has struck out twice, reaching on the fielder's choice. He has scored twice. The 1-0 pitch on the way. He goes the opposite way and hits it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wittenberg with 11 base hits. They're 1 ahead of the Quakers in that department. They're 1 ahead in the runs scored. Quakers with 3 errors, 2 today by Wittenberg as that pitch is outside. 2 balls and a strike. As Green gets the sign, here's the pitch and a ground ball toward the second baseman, Robertson. And a strong throw to first, 1 away. Here's Bates. Bates 0 for 3, 2 runs scored.
With one out, now batting number 6, Tim Bates.
Green, he has pitched well. He got a 1-2-3 eighth inning as that pitch goes behind Bates, and it might have glanced off his jersey, and that'll send him to first. So a hit batsman, they'll put a man on. And here's Fasano.
Now batting number 34, Aaron Fasano.
And we will have a visit to the mound. There is a right-hander again throwing for the Quakers. And Matthias was up earlier. And it looks like they will go to the Matthias. So pitching change for the Quakers. We'll come back and talk about Matt's numbers in a moment. This is Earlham Baseball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give them a call at 966-0994.
Well, Matt Matthias will come in for the Quakers, the junior out of Lagodi, Indiana. Matthias this year making his 6th appearance, 8 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 10 runs, 9 of those earned, 3 strikeouts, and 6 walks. Matt with a 1-0 record, an ERA of 9.35. He'll be facing Fasano with a runner on here in the top of the 9th inning. Again, these two teams will meet up. We got a ways to go before that next meeting, April 26th. That'll be at Wittenberg. That'll be a 6 o'clock start time. But now Fasano, 9-8 lead. Wittenberg on top. So now Matthias, the right-hander, set to throw. And his first pitch on the way is a breaking ball, gets away from Dopp. And that'll advance the runner. I believe that'll be a pass ball. So now the Tigers with a runner in scoring position here in the 9th inning. One ball and no strikes to Fasano. Matthias will look the runner back to second. The stretch again by Matthias. And the pitch on the way, grounded to the right side. That'll get the runner over as Elkis will field and step on the bag. But 2 away, and here's Probst.
With 2 away, now batting number 2, Ryan Probst.
Probst has been on base all 4 times out of that number 8 hole. A couple of base hits and a couple of walks. So now Matthias 1 to go, and the Quakers can go to work in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. Grounded to the right side. Should be an easy play for Robertson. And he makes a bad throw, but is scooped up by the first baseman, Elkis. The very same thing we talked about earlier in the ball game. How many runs may Elkis save or errs at first base? We will head to the bottom of the ninth inning. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Quakers down by 1.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf and I approve this message.
Maybe you haven't heard, but there's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show Cheers. You know, where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some of your friends and try out a game of live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else are you going to find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
By the Durang, the left-hander, chance here to get a
Hitting
save.
off the bottom of the ninth inning for your Quakers, the second baseman, number 31, Addison Robertson.
Here is Robertson. Quakers need one to tie in this one as Durang into the stretch and the pitch. Chop foul. Robertson, couple of base hits, 2 for 4. Durang gets the sign from Mays. The stretch, the delivery on the way, and it misses low. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch back up the middle off the glove of Durang. Shortstop Probst. The throw to first, and it gets by Bates. So the Quakers will get a man on. That was almost a great play by Probst. That'll be a base hit by Robertson. And here's Kendall Baker. So Earlham with a man on. Baker's been very good at laying down a bunt. If you're the third baseman, Carpenter.
Number 1, Kendall Baker.
You're going to come in a few steps, and that's exactly what Carpenter will do. He's going to take that bunt away if he can. Durang into the stretch, and the pitch on the way. Baker tried to drag bunt that one, as he'll fall down on the count of no balls and a strike. He was not looking to sacrifice. Carpenter back in. You see him just to the left. As Durang into the stretch and the pitch. The pitch is going to be low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way, and it's outside for a ball. Robertson again is the tying run down at first base. Here's the stretch and the pitch, bunted. The pitcher, Durang, coming off. Strong throw to first and holding on is Bates. But the runner will advance to second base. And here is the leadoff hitter, Matt Barger. Unless we have a pinch hitter, and we will. Ian Bach. Bach again.
At bat number 14.
At the leadoff spot. So 1 away here in the 9th inning. And now Durang ready to go to work on Bach. The stretch and the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Bach hitting at 105 on the year. No home runs and 1 run driven in. Took over for Barger. Down at third base. And now Durang will have Mays go through a series of signs once again. Robertson the lead down at second base. The pitch on the way is way outside, backhanded by Mays. And now Mays will get in talk with Durang. There is no one throwing in the Wittenberg bullpen, so right now it's up to Durang to finish this one out.
Go Ian. Go 1-4.
One ball and 1 strike. The pitch on the way is a ground ball to the left side. Probst deep in the hole. Long throw to first and safe at first base. So Bach beats the throw, and the Quakers now have runners at first and third. And we will have a pinch runner down at first base.
Pinch running at first, number 26, Alec Bryan.
So Alec Bryan will pinch run at first for Bach. So here's Nate Lynch.
And at bat for the Quakers, number 2, Nate Lynch.
Lynch looking for his first base hit, and perhaps no better time than right now. Durang into the stretch. And the pitch on the way, and it's outside for a ball. One away here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Quakers need 1 to keep this one going. This time Durang will step off. Once again, the 1-0 pitch. Hit foul. Good cut there by Lynch. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. You'll see the third baseman, Carpenter, come in a couple of steps. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off, and that one hit foul again. And Lynch now down to the count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another good swing that time by Lynch. Lefty against lefty. Durang and Lynch battling here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The stretch and the throw to first. Short lead that time by Bryan. And he's going to be awful careful over at first base. Does not want to get picked off. Robertson down at third. The stretch and the pitch on the way. Throws it over the head of the catcher. That'll be a wild pitch. Advancing to second will be Bryan. And now the Quakers have runners at second and third. And again, 1 away is now the first baseman Bates over to talk with Durang. It's all up to this left-hander right here. As we mentioned, there is no one throwing in the Wittenberg bullpen. 1 out. The infield will stay back. A little confused why they're not coming in. Two balls and 2 strikes. The stretch and the pitch on the way, hit down the line, and that will go foul. We will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The winning run is at second base. Here's the stretch. The delivery on the way. Grounded back up the middle. Knocked down. Ball is loose in the infield. We're tied at 9 apiece. Lynch will get the infield base hit. And the run driven in. And we're tied at 9 and still runners at first and third. And just one away. And guess who's up? Brennan Laird.
The shortstop, number 17, Brennan Laird.
Laird doubled his only hit back in the 5th inning, but he has a guy down at third. I wouldn't be surprised if Earlham would show even right here. In fact, looks like they're going to intentionally walk him, and they will. And they're going to go ahead and pitch to Elkis. So the Quakers will have the bases loaded, and that means we'll have a force at any base. How about another comeback win here for Earlham? They've done it a lot here at Randall R. Sadler Stadium. So now Bryant's at third, Lynch down at second. We'll have Laird once they go through one more. Pitch, and there we'll put Laird on. So now it's up to Elkis. The infield will come in, and Elkis, we mentioned that shot he had earlier.
At that for your Quakers, number 19, Eric.
Now another visit to the mound. Now there's the meeting, and again, they'll discuss what they're going to have to do defensively depending on where the ball is hit. Elkis doubled back in the 6th inning. He is 1 for 4 with a walk and a run scored, and boy, he almost cleared the fence back in that 6th inning. So now Durang. Winning run is down at third base. The stretch and the pitch and hit foul. All this guy wants to do now is get it deep and get it in the air someplace or a base hit. Whatever he wants to do, he wants to get it out of the infield. No double play either. Boy, what a matchup, though. If you're a left-hander pitching to this guy right here. The pitch. Oh, boy, that didn't miss by much. 1 ball, 1 strike. Both teams really fired up, but right now, more of the chatter coming from that Earlham dugout. Durang looking in, gets the sign from Mays. Here's the stretch and the pitch on the way, and it's outside for ball 2. Two balls and a strike now to Elkis. The stretch and the pitch. Boy, he had to cut that one, hit straight back. 2-2, and he didn't miss it by much. Two balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bases loaded. Earlham has come back to tie it at 9 apiece. Chance to win it right here. The pitch on the way, and it's up high for ball 3, and nowhere to put him. You've got to come with a strike. Elkis knows it. Boy, how would you like to be Durang? just a freshman put in this situation here for the Tigers. The payoff pitch on the way, and it's a ground ball toward the shortstop. This could be trouble. There's one, and game is over. Elkis got down the line in time, and the Quakers have come back to win by a final of 10-9. And it was Eric Elkis, the ground ball, that wins it tonight for the Quakers. We will come back and put a wrap on this one in just a moment. Stay right there. This is Earlham Baseball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
At Richmond Power and Light, we're committed to Richmond. We've been a part of this community for over 114 years. We're not part of some big energy conglomerate, and we don't answer to out-of-town stockholders. Instead, we are accountable to you. And just like you, we want what's best for our hometown. That means you can count on us to provide reliable electricity at low rates. We are Richmond Power and Light, your hometown electric utility, building Richmond a better tomorrow.
Wittenberg today with 9 runs.
Well, the Quakers come back to win with 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Earlham wins it by a final of 10-9. Earlham with the win have won now 4 straight. They're now 5-4 overall. Wittenberg, they've lost their 3rd in a row. They dropped to 2-7 on the season. Again, Eric Elkis, the game-winning
12 p.m. for the start of the doubleheader on Saturday
for the Quakers. So Earlham will head to Rose-Hulman coming up this weekend with a now 4-game winning streak. They will play at Rose on March the 24th at 6 o'clock, and then March 25th, a doubleheader, noon and 3. And we'll be back here, mark it down, March 28th against Bluffton. That's a 4:15 start time, and we'll be on the air at around 3:55. Right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. But the Quakers, 10 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors. For Wittenberg, 9 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors. Quakers win it by a final of 10-9. Thanks for being with us. This has been Earlham Baseball right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.